He's a one-take fucker.
Get the hell out of here. You just broke my glasses. Can I get you guys' names? You just body slammed me and broke my glasses? You just broke my glasses. Get the hell out of here. He just body slammed me. He just body slammed me. He just body slammed me. He just body slammed me.
So soup sorry. What's this shit
Miso
called?
soup sorry. Miso soup sorry.
There you go. I'm telling you, this should be the show.
So
all right,
soup
all
sorry.
right. See? All right. Welcome to the Exploding Heads Horror Podcast, episode number 49.
Woo.
49, like the 49ers. It's the 2-year anniversary. I'm Dave Z. Introduce yourself, fellas.
Oh, I am Christian Luch.
I'm Donnie Rings.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not Donnie. It's not Donnie Rings, is it? It is Donnie Rings.
It is Donnie Rings. Last time you'd called him Joey Rings. Not
Oh
Joey
yeah, because that's what I did. I combined.
I'm onion rings.
So soup sorry.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
I'm keeping that in. I'm keeping it in.
Do.
Keep it in.
Guys,
I'm
this
new
is our
blood.
2-year anniversary. Yeah, you're the new blood. Thank you. See, tonight we're just having fun. I told these guys before we started, we've been bullshitting here for 10 minutes. This is going to be the loosest, freaking chillest, don't give a shit episode of this wonderful podcast we've ever done. Because it's our 2-year anniversary.
Yay.
We're very... Yay! Yeah.
I've got
Oh,
cake.
We're not even recording right now.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. We're having fun. It's 2-year celebration. Next show is the real big one. We've been busting our asses all year for this top 50 slasher show. So tonight, we're just going to freaking kick back, do our things, do some emails, some topics, some questions, go a Facebook Live in a little bit, and just have fun. That's why I had these guys introduce themselves. It's never once happened in 49
It's a
shows.
celebration. It's a celebration.
That's right.
You let us talk at the beginning of the show.
Thank you.
Maybe
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
maybe from now on, maybe starting in season 3,
Maybe.
that's what we'll do. Yeah,
Have
well,
we
I'll
been
come on.
picked up for season 3 yet?
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
We've been renewed?
I think so. Only because Skeleton Crew, rest in peace, put out their last show today. So I think we have a chance to be renewed for season 3 because we're going to need content on Horrorphilia.
Thank God that shit's over.
Oh,
Shit.
oh.
Oh, sorry.
We are
Was my-
recording. Yeah.
My mic on? Sorry.
Full blast. Yeah. Congrats. 5.5 years.
That's a long run.
You think we could do it 5.5 years?
I don't know. It's been 2 miserable ones so far.
How do you think Derek feels with Cinema Attack?
It's been 5.5 weeks.
Eric.
I'm sorry, Brandon. I'm
No,
sorry.
Derek, I just want you to realize Brandon is like weeping for real. So he's not laughing at all. I'm laughing.
Yeah, we're
a
laughing.
good joke,
We can
Deke.
laugh. Right, yeah.
I'm gonna switch
all-
chairs because this one's squeaky.
All right, so Christian squeaking.
I can do this is so loose that I'm switching chairs mid-show.
Oh, see? This is
You
the
gonna
night
roll
of
that one up?
firsts.
Oh yeah, comfy.
It's because you farted on the other chair, that's why.
I think it might be. It's like I said, it's in the sock filter.
Christian, how much candy did you eat this Halloween? You're looking a little bloated. Look like they just fished you out of the Hudson.
Look at this guy. Maybe we should go back to the old school intro, like I said.
Okay, all right. Welcome to Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast, episode number 49. This is the 2-year anniversary show. I'm Dave Z. I'm here with Brandon and Christian,
Woo,
and I
woo.
love these guys. How's that? Better?
I'm blowing out
Much
the
better.
candles as we speak.
You're blowing who as we speak?
Candles. This guy I met.
Candles. Is that your nickname for Vince? Candles?
Candles, get over here.
Hey, speaking of Vince, I have not a bone to pick. I really loved the last show, TGIF 13.
Stop
Go ahead.
flirting with him.
You flirted with him?
Stop flirting with him. You said you got a bone to pick.
No, listen.
What's your boner to pick?
Well, no, it's not really a bone to pick. I just have to interject something. First of all, congratulations for making the top 10 again.
Thank you.
You know, yeah, TGIF 13 is straight up officially now amongst the top teners. I think it's going to be a permanent fixture. It's blowing up.
You think in October with the last Skeleton Crew with Mr. Watson back? I don't know. With 22 shots releasing 15 shows in 1 week. 22 shots doesn't mean you have to release 22 episodes in one fucking month.
I know, right?
I'm still on last year.
I know. They're putting out last year's shit, this year's shit. Fucking. I gotta give those boys props, though. I mean,
they're cranking them out. They're cranking them out so fast, no one's listening. I'm kidding, boys. Only JP listens, and he's like 15 shows back, so no one tell him. No one tell him.
Well, there is some truth to that, and it's been discussed. We've talked. JP has said it to us before that when they put out too many shows back to back, and they're long shows, that the downloads aren't the same, and it's obvious why, because they're long shows. People are trying to catch up. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they forget about it. That's why we will never be a weekly podcast.
But you know what? He does always have a good rebuttal for that. Whenever that happens, he automatically brings up the YouTube views.
This is true.
Piggybacking on Mood Success.
Yeah. Hey, the show only got 2,000 downloads over here, but on YouTube, 10,000.
We got 3 million views.
I don't know why he's Italian all of a sudden.
They've been putting them out. You know what it is? They're putting out big shows at such an alarming rate. It's like, oh, okay, time to sit down and listen to TCM retrospective. Oh, Chucky's here. Oh, Saw's here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, no, all joking aside, it's crazy. Our sister
it's tough to keep up
podcast.
with.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Did you say our sister podcast?
Yeah, isn't that what we call it?
Why not? Yeah.
Wouldn't they be like our brother podcast?
Well, okay, brother, sister.
I look at them as chicks.
Because you wants to fuck them.
Yeah.
I'd rather fuck my sister than my brother. So let's go with sister podcast.
There you go. Fuck your sister. You know.
You would have to fuck your father. Who are you kidding?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Every
Comes
week,
Dr. Lipschitz.
Oh, Dr. Lipschitz. I wonder if we'll hear from him later. Oh. But back to what I was saying, because this is the kind of show we're doing tonight. These are the jokes, folks, or whatever.
Them's the jokes.
There you go. We're going back to TGIF 13. Something was brought up on that show, and I wanted to clear my good name.
Oh, yeah, he did come down on you for a second, didn't he?
Well, and rightfully so, because when you hear it from your mouth, the way you said it, it sounds like I'm saying something asinine. And it does. I was merely interjecting something because, and I'll tell you what, the first person that told this to me was Wazelle when Banana Laser did the Halloween Retro. On our very first show that we did, it was how we reviewed Halloween 1 and 2, a couple years back. And Matt, he was the one that said, he goes, a lot of people like to watch Halloween and then immediately follow it up with Halloween 2.
Yes.
And he gave me the idea. Now, granted, guess what I did last night? Today's November 1st, okay? Last night I watched Halloween and Halloween 2.
Happy All Saints Day, everybody.
Oh, yeah. It is All Saints Day for us Italians. Yeah. But
sorry, Happy All Saints Day, Dave.
Thanks. Yeah, sorry.
Brandon, you're not allowed to partake in this. Yeah.
No.
Look at
there's
him.
no saints.
He's dying.
No, I don't think Jews believe in saints, right? That's not a thing. Okay,
no,
so
saints aren't real.
Right. Just like leprechauns. Okay, so as I was saying,
all saints in space.
Saints in space.
All saints in the hood.
Wow. I just like the sound of saints in space. It's got a nice ring to it, doesn't
There's
it?
our movie title. Exploding
Saints?
Heads. Saints in space.
Sounds like Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol.
Perfect. It's the caliber of comedy is going to be about the same.
We got to get Bobcat to do Saints in Space.
we got Michael Winslow. I'm going to be skateboarding a lot in it. It's going to be fucking fantastic.
All right, guys, we'll see you on episode 50.
Yeah.
That's about it.
It's going to be hoverboarding.
Pigs in space. Okay. Halloween 1 and 2. I watched them back to back last night. I've done it probably 80% of the Halloweens that I can remember. So I do it frequently. Now, what Matt said on that show was, so a lot of people do that. And he goes, but I think that it's actually kind of jarring when you go from Halloween right to Halloween 2 because they are quite different in certain ways. The soundtrack immediately is jarring coming off of part 1. The way Michael does things, behaves, looks, it's different. It's an obvious difference between the two movies. Like, it doesn't flow perfectly as one movie. That's all Matt was trying to say. And that's when I mentioned it on this show or whatever, that's why I said it, because everybody mentions that they do that. And I said, well, if you think about it, again, I'm just biting what Matt said. So,
yeah. So Matt's really at fault.
Yeah, stop biting Matt.
I'm just telling you.
Hey, the one thing that it does well from 1 to 2 is, man, Michael drives like a champ in both.
Look at him.
He does.
You're saving it. You can't wait till next episode, can you?
No.
Topic. Oh, wait a minute. You are going to do it, aren't you? Guys, one of the things we decided to do tonight was, well, me, I've been carrying around these topics in my pocket for fucking 2 years. I get it. I think of something that might be good to talk about in the show, and I put it in my notes. And I have like 30, 40 topics, and they're like rainy day topics. Just like if there's ever something like a show like tonight. We're trying to take it easy because next show is 50. We're up to our fucking balls in slashers. You know, we're busy, you know. So we have topics, and we decided let's throw some topics out there and just talk about them. And Brandon decided to start something prematurely in chat the other day. Pertaining to slashers.
I can't help it. I always start something prematurely.
No, you finished prematurely. Let's get it right.
I start prematurely too.
Oh, okay.
I don't mean to cut into the fun, but don't we have to Facebook Live it?
What do you mean? You always cut into the fun. You don't mean to. Yeah. That's what you do.
Oh, Brady just started talking, so I figured perfect time to cut this off. Waka waka.
Waka.
No.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Dave. We're going to get into a friendly, and I'm going to explain when we get to it, but we're going to get into a friendly discussion of Halloween. I don't really want to do it versus anything, but for some reason, the minute I said I just had a few gripes with Halloween, you're like, you better fucking be prepared to defend Black Christmas. I don't know why you just immediately threw Black Christmas in my face.
Well, because you're picking on Halloween 78. That's
but here, I'm not picking on it. Here's the thing with Halloween 78 for me. I love it, and I'm not going to give anything away, but it's one of the best slashers, and it's going to be reflected next show on episode 50. That's not a spoiler. That'd just be crazy if it didn't show up high in any of our lists for some reason. But I feel like it's placed on the pedestal as the greatest slasher of all time that, like, nothing even comes close to it, when I feel like it suffers from a few faults that are just as significant as any other film.
Okay.
Ding, ding. We'll take this up after. But that's a good opening argument.
Okay, go live. Let's see if this works.
Keith is watching. Amanda's watching. Christine is watching. Hello out there.
How do
Check
you
it
see
out.
everybody else? Hey, Aaron. How do you
I
see
can't see a thing. Did anybody type or no?
I have. I put hi. Brandon put hi.
Oh, okay, hi.
Aaron
Somebody
says
typed-
hello.
Oh, this is the problem. Okay, you're going to have to read everything because my phone does not get whatchamacallits anymore.
What
I
is wrong
cannot-
with you?
I can't
Christine's
see the
here.
comments. What do you want?
Amanda's here.
Look, can you see this? Can you see my phone?
Hey, Joey's here. Are we just going to do this again? Hey, everybody's here. Joe
Well,
is here.
Hey,
It's a romper
Donnie
room.
Rings is in the house.
Yeah.
Donnie Rings.
We got Amanda. Hello, guys. We got Emma saying, hey, Dave. Ooh, I think she's India.
Oh,
And then
I wish
Mike
I could
Merriam-
see. I can't see a damn thing. Why can't I see the words?
Dave Z is working on his Letterman retirement beard. Bingo, bango. We got Cinema Blend. Derek is here.
Why is
Coliseum.
half my head like not in the picture?
Oh, that's, the
talking
way,
to me?
that's the way we like it. Emma laughed at the fact that she's attracted to you.
That is a joke. Who could be attracted to this guy? Right.
Jim
Here's the
K.
funny thing.
Now, is Jim K Jim from Toronto?
I don't think so.
Well, Jim
Jim
K
K
says hi,
is-
boys.
He is Jim from Toronto.
We haven't heard from Jim from Toronto in ages.
Okay.
Hello.
What do you guys have to read? Because I can't read. Thanks everybody for being here.
is
Somebody
the
has to
best.
read because it does not show up on my phone.
I'm reading
Brandon's
everything.
Brandon's face is like the art. It's like the art from the Thing, just a whole bunch of light.
That's why we call it
All right.
Twilight.
Oh, good. Everybody's saying hello. That's all I know.
Amanda wants to know if I have eyes.
We miss so many jokes. Dave Z's voice cracks so often that you always think he's about to say the most exciting thing ever. What a hunk.
Oh.
I love the beard. That's from Joey.
Joey loves the beard?
Yeah.
Everybody loves the beard except my wife. So, Kurt Russell from The Thing. I'm getting there, no?
Hey, you look just like Kurt Russell.
Yeah, fuck you too.
Jerry Herring says, congratulations. I'm at work. Just wanted to say congrats on 2 years of being fucking awesome. Brandon. Christian looks like a raccoon. Yeah, thanks, Jerry. Get back to work.
Raccoon.
Yeah.
You ate too much candy last night.
That guy's waiting for his fries, Jerry. Serve him up.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah. Everyone's cracking wise. That's right. That's right.
Everybody's cracking wise, and I can't see it. I just got to go by. Isn't it weird? I can see everybody joining, but I can't see one thing anybody says.
So Amanda says, how was everybody's Halloween? Mine was great. How about you guys?
Mine was great, too.
Yeah, I can't complain.
It was cool. It was colder than I'd like, but at least it wasn't raining this year.
Dude, a week ago it was like 60-something degrees. Halloween comes, it's freaking 40. I'm like, oh, man. But I got to give the kids candy, you know?
There's
Watch
some
my
good
movie.
jokes here, man.
Feed them off.
Mike Merriman, Brandon has the powder look going. As in either powder from the movie Powder or is auditioning for Tony Montana's Mountain Cocaine. and the local theater's revival of Scarface.
Nice, Mike. Nice.
That's a good one. It's the first Powder. It's the Victor Salva one.
Yeah.
I'm auditioning for him.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on his lap right now.
And that's not powder in his face. That's Victor Salva.
Salvating, all right. Yes. Anybody see Jeepers Creepers 3? I'll ask them a question. How's that? You guys tell me what they say.
Thanks, Jim, and thanks, Alex. They both congratulated us on the 2 years.
Thank you, guys.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to overtake this, Dave, but if you can't read these things, I don't know what else to do here. So,
Please overtake it.
Keith Christian says mine was great as well. He saw Victor Crowley.
Oh, yeah.
Crowley.
Victor Salva he saw?
Crowley's cousin, Crowley.
He can't walk, he crawls.
This live stream has turned into the Jeepers Creepers 4. I refuse to watch it. Kyle doesn't want to watch Jeepers Creepers 3. Alex says I might see it tonight, but I'm hesitant on it.
I got a face now.
You got eyes without a face.
Please go back to the thing. Go back to the thing.
Go back to Victor salivating.
Friesenelli says JC3's on his DVR. Is that Jurassic Cock 3?
Jeepers Creepers. Jurassic Cock.
Christine says thank you and congratulations on 2 years. Christine, our last guest.
That Christine. Hey, thank you.
Cracking wise, Christine.
Read. No.
Joey has a nice comment here. It's been awesome connecting with the Exploding Heads, and I need to be careful when I'm listening and driving. I've had to pull over multiple times laughing. Congrats on 2 years and more to come, fellas. On Brandon's face. Boo!
And most people who know you, Joey, would say you don't really have to be careful while listening and driving. Just go ahead, be reckless.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joey, do what you got to do. No, we love you.
Most people said they haven't seen Jeepers Creepers. I think Andrew's the only one that said he said it was a bad film, but he still enjoyed it, gave it a 6.5.
Not surprised. He likes bad films. God bless him. Imagine if it would have been great. Imagine if Jeepers Creepers 3 would have come out. It would have been a fucking amazing film. What would people have done?
Watched it?
They would have talked about how amazing it is.
Yeah.
You think? Do you think they would go see it or they would protest?
You can't protest with everything that's going on now. Now it's all coming to light. Come on, did anyone really think that this shit doesn't exist in Hollywood? This is what goes on in Hollywood. This is notoriously known in Hollywood, and now it's coming out left and right. Every 2 seconds, somebody else is accusing someone else. And I believe all of it.
I do too. Guys, Brandon touched me last week in an inappropriate way.
Holy shit, did you guys replace Dave with Grizzly Adams? That was Brian Christopher, a.k.a. Evil Taylor Hicks.
Yep. No, it's just me, man. I'm just going natural for right now. Just doing my thing. It's going to be cold here, man. I got to freaking be warm, you know?
You should see his balls.
Well, sorry I can't see the comments, but...
We got a clickety-clackety. Sorry I'm late. Just wanted to pop on and say congrats to 2 years, fellows, again from Evil Taylor Hicks. And Keith Christian says, I'm going to watch it now. It's on my DVR as well. Not expecting too much, but I'm a fan of the first two films. So he's going to watch it.
There you go.
Is he going to watch it?
He's going to watch it. He's going balls deep into JC3.
Nice.
We're getting political here, too. Mike has retorted with, it's really an abuse of power problem. Yes, it happens in Hollywood, but it happens pretty much everywhere that a power structure exists in which victims have little to no recourse when abused.
You mean to tell me a rich white guy is corrupt? No shit.
Jason says, congrats. Jason has to go to work. Jason Luxton, so he's going to bed soon.
Thanks,
Oh,
Jason.
it's 2 a.m. Yeah, you got to get to sleep, Jason. The hell are you
Debbie.
doing on here? You
Debbie
think we're going to
wrote,
entertain you?
"The three of you together are a great mix. It gives listeners a well-rounded review of movies. Thanks, guys."
Oh, well, thanks, Debbie. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's nice. Thank you, Debbie, for including Christian. Christian is the Joey Fatone of Exploding Heads.
I don't like that comment at all.
Who said that? Who
Fuck
called
you.
me?
Hey, one of the
Mike
questions
Barrett.
later on, Mike, is who was our
Mike
favorite guest on the show? Guess who's not going to be my answer?
Mike, the one thing I could say is I might not be able to say you're my favorite guest, but you were definitely our first.
And they got better from there.
Yeah, you set the bar pretty low, Mike.
Damn you.
Sorry.
Hey, your first is always memorable, no?
Yeah.
Marathoning The Shining 97. Thoughts?
What about The Shining 97?
That's what Jim Kay's watching. He's marathoning them.
I have no problem with that film.
I don't think I ever saw the 97 one.
Check it out. It's a nice counterpiece to Kubrick's movie and King's book, honestly.
It seems like Victor Crowley is like more liked than most of the horror sequels this year. Correct, Alex. I agree.
Is it Alex Edwards?
No, it's Alex Harrow.
Oh, Alex
Hello,
Harrow.
my baby. Hello.
Harrow, my bike buddy. Yes.
Harrow from the other side. Sorry.
God.
Those are the jokes tonight, guys. 2
Those are-
years. We can crack whatever we want.
Yeah, we're doing whatever we want tonight. But yeah, that's all there is to it. So, but we're glad you guys came on, and you're wishing us well and all that good stuff. And I asked about Alex Edwards because of the Skeleton Crew, because the last show dropped today. So go listen to it if you haven't. And yeah, it's serious stuff, man. Without the Skeleton Crew, there's no Dave Z and Exploding Ed. So I gotta give him props.
Brendan, we could have our own show here.
Imagine that.
Mike countered with my guest appearance was like the asshole who posts first in a comment thread and nothing else.
You're far behind. Christian,
Brandon.
please leave the singing to Dave.
Thank you.
Well,
Who
I
said
agree to
that?
that. Yeah.
Thank you.
You don't like
Adam
my
Green
Harrow?
rides the line between horror and comedy. You guys will like it if you dig the others for sure. That's on Victor Crowley from Keith.
Victor Crowley.
Brandon goes on behind, and literally he reads 3 comments later. I was behind by 3 freaking comments.
Listen,
You
I have an
fucking
excuse.
Powder-looking son of a bitch.
I can't see. God damn it. I can't see the comment. Did you guys know that the girl that played Judith Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween remake was actually the the youngest version of Jenny in Forrest Gump? When he first meets her on the bus, that's her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just found this out. Maybe it was Woodsboro Brothers, because I think it is. It was either them or it was Slice and Dice. It was somebody doing a Halloween retro, and I just heard that. I was like, "Holy shit, that's crazy!" You
Well,
know?
Andrew's on this feed here.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
I'll
wouldn't
tell
know.
you.
I listened to neither, so.
I support the shows on this network.
Brandon
Even
is
if
just
you don't
making friends
support
left,
me.
right, and center.
And you would think between these two guys that we would be able to see every comment or hear every comment, I should say. But
Oh, we're
Mine
not. No,
says,
we're way
"Far
behind. We're way behind.
like the song by Candlebox. Derek
Yeah.
says Brandon looks like a bleached asshole. Christine replies that she loves Dave's singing.
Yeah.
see, thank you. I knew some people like
I love your singing too. JP, not JP.
Andrika.
Yeah, she was a young Jenny. So basically, he's telling you, "Fuck you." I already knew that.
Hey, whoa. We skipped over a really important comment here. Say, have you guys read this shit about Adam Marcus claiming that Jason Voorhees is a Deadite a la Evil Dead, and this is canon? And that's from Evil Taylor Hicks.
Fuck dumb Marcus. Fuck you. How's that?
Dumb. I see what you did there.
Yeah. Well, I stole it.
yeah.
I stole that. It's a Skeleton Crew joke, but that's what he goes by. That dumb motherfucker. Well, nothing against him. Just I'm against his movie. That's all.
Jerry says that David was a blast recording that last Crew show with you.
It sure as hell was, man.
Yeah, and that Kill the Cast is canceled. I'm kidding.
Dave, why'd you get so excited for a second?
Yeah.
It wasn't excitement. It was shock. There's a big difference.
Adam Marcus story. There's a link to it.
That's so stupid. What an idiot. This guy hasn't directed a movie, I don't think, since Jason Goes to Hell. People shit on the movie, and now he's trying to make excuses. Why wouldn't you just say, hey, it was my first movie. I tried a couple things. I had Sean Cunningham in my ear, and I made a few mistakes. Isn't that what
a few mistakes? You're being kind.
That's why it was rated the worst of the series on our poll. I know people were saying Manhattan was there, and Jason X was getting up there. It's not close.
No, not close at all.
Listen, 7 through 10 are just not loved. That's all there is to it. They're just not loved. Sorry, Brandon. I'm just saying.
I don't think 7 is as hated as you think. And that poll really confirmed that 7 and 6 had pretty much the same amount of votes. They've had very few votes.
No, there are a lot of people that like 7. They're just idiots.
Yeah. No, they're not. It's a good film. Buechler got screwed, and it would have been an even a more amazing film had it never been cut.
They raped my movie.
I'll give you that. Buechler did get screwed with the MPAA.
They Weinsteined my movie.
You Brett Ratnered my movie. You Kevin Spacey'd my movie. That's for you, Vince. A Kevin Spacey joke.
No, I'm really hoping that this is sarcasm. I'm pretty sure since it's Evil Taylor Hicks, it's sarcasm.
It is.
But he says, I mean, the body shaving scene was pretty fantastic.
Why?
And so what's the most underrated Friday the 13th in your opinion? 5.
Underrated?
5, yeah.
5. We're all okay. We all agree. More on that in the future. I mean, you know.
And Mr. Watson is here, and see JP be like, "Is it the worst though?" I don't know why I said that like I was from
the Jersey
somewhere.
Shore.
Yeah.
He's back from recording episode 10 in Victor Salva's log cabin in the woods. Did you see that creepy location where he was recording from?
No.
Take care of Mr. Christian, and he's out of here. He says our comedy's very lowbrow, and he loves it.
Yes.
Can't wait for episode 50. Beautiful.
Because 49 sucks.
Right.
Yeah, because this one's going...
Oh, it's a meth house he recorded from.
A meth house? Man, I wish I would have gone.
Weekend at Jason's. If 7 had the uncut kills, it would be my favorite in the franchise. I would say it would heighten my enjoyment of it, because really, at the end of the day, that's all you have to look forward to in that movie. The look of Jason is great. I always said I like that what he's done design-wise for zombified Jason, for sure.
I agree, but the thing is about that movie, it's just like what they try to do, like a greatest hits package of other things that happen in parts 1 through 6, and it's almost like they're little skits. You get like a 5-10 minute thing of this, and it's something we've seen before, and then they do it here. And the only way you know this, if you watch the Banana Laser commentary when we did it, you can hear us explain it perfectly on that. And I'm not just saying that to pimp that show because I'm on it, but it describes what I'm saying better. Brandon, I want you to watch it with that commentary one of these days.
Not going to ruin my enjoyment of it. I actually have changed my mind on a lot of the Fridays. Well, 1 through 7, I appreciate a lot more now after watching Crystal Lake Memories. Just because they were all pretty much screwed by the MPAA.
Did you watch Disc 2, Crystal Lake Memories, when they talked about the best hits of the franchise?
Thanks for the memories. I'm supposed to leave the singer to you, Dave. I'm sorry. Can you do that for me now?
Thanks for the memories.
Yeah, that was better. Fuck. Why did I just have you one up me? Mike says 5 is the only underrated one. Alex says the reboot is the most underrated in his opinion. Mike then says I'm Christian from Compton. I like that. And then
Christian from Compton, nice.
Derek says Victor Salva looks like he eats children now.
He always ate children.
Children.
He just doesn't spit them out this time.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Crystal lactating memories.
Wow. All right, Emma, take care. She's got to go sleeping. Guess I'll watch this back later. And we know you'll love Dave's beard more than anything.
How about a movie? Victor Crowley versus Victor Salva. I want to see that. Or I want to see Victor Salva direct a Victor Crowley movie.
Salva is just uber old. Ooh, I wonder if he could fight Uber Jason.
Watson wants to watch the Friday the 13th films with Christian and Vince. Eating sausage all night.
Yeah, we did eat sausage. Alex has got to go. Right. Good night, buddy. Take care.
Bye, Alex.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hello and goodbye.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Boom.
Them's the jokes.
Them's the joke.
I still like Crystal lactating memories.
Oh, Evil Taylor's taking off, too.
Well, I guess we should take off then. Looks like everybody's bolting.
He's going to
call us. Our welcome. Everybody's bolting like Michael.
We'll have a sausage fest, Mr. Watson.
Derek loves Slaughter High.
Slaughter High, good stuff. Thank you, Derek. Everybody, thank you. 2 years. 2 years have been wonderful. We're just having fun tonight. That's all that matters.
Yeah, thanks guys.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see
Good
you
night.
later. We love you.
Jason Lloyd joined right when we finished.
Sorry, Jason.
That was cool. That was fun.
That was fun. You know, not many shows are as serious as we are when it comes to content. You know, we do a lot.
When there, before you started talking, I swear to God, I heard
What?
Whoop, whoop. Did you hear that, Christian? Before you spoke, I don't know if it wasn't like a stutter, but it was just like a like Now listen.
I've heard it before when I go back and I'm doing some editing sometimes. It's like, yeah. It's like a
Well, maybe it was the bell. Maybe it was ding, 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 because we're supposed to go to war now, right? Or something like that.
There's no war here. How can there be war when I'm outright claiming that I love both these slasher films?
What do you want to talk about?
You know what it is here? You know what I feel like this reminds me of in sports? Obviously, growing up in the tri-state area, I'm a New York fan, so I root for New York teams. So when I went to school in Delaware, everybody there was like, we're Philly fans. And I just grew a strong hatred for all Philly fans and for all Philadelphia teams. And it wasn't until years later that I realized I don't really hate the Philadelphia teams so much as I hate the fans more. And I think I fucking hate the fact that these people put it so high above every other movie, more so than the movie itself. Because I just watched a movie again the other day. I love it. It's great. But does it deserve to be head and shoulders above the rest?
Who said it was head and shoulders above the rest? Because
I feel like that's where everyone puts it.
They put Halloween in the classy slasher, and Friday the 13th is considered the dirty cousin.
Dirty.
Dirty slut cousin.
the Mexican cousin.
Can't have sex with your cousin. You'll have retarded babies. Yeah, like I can't pull out while I'm fucking my cousin.
Nice.
I think you made a good point. And watching the movie back, I watched 1 and 2. Watching them back, you're right. The things it does well, it does so well. Obviously, the music is just a 10 out of 10. I think, obviously, the cinematography is phenomenal. And I even think the characters are all great, despite sometimes hearing mixed reviews on the characters. I love all the characters.
Well, for a slasher, what do you want? You know,
No, that's fine. But we can't ignore the fact that Michael's immediately a stunt driver the minute he gets out of wherever the hell he is.
The asylum?
Smith's Grove. Yes.
Your pop filter's not working so well tonight. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, great.
Got to sock it, homie. You got to sock it. So, yeah, that's your beef that Michael drives away in the car.
No, I just think that two of the main issues I had with the film that you have to acknowledge, and I take a little bit of points away from, is the fact that the driving is never explained, even though Loomis does give that throwaway line that somebody must have taught him in the
That
asylum.
explains it. That joke alone gives it a pass. That's how they get rid of it. Somebody out here must have given him lessons.
Okay. Okay, stop. Is driving really that hard? Michael Myers went away when he was 8 years old, okay? Is it really that hard to see? Steering is just steering. Once you figure out, right?
I know
Okay.
steering. I don't know what the hell you just did, Dave.
Steering. It's a kid looking at someone driving. You grab a steering wheel and you move it to know what way. Any idiot can figure that out. The only thing a kid needs to learn by observance is simply what to step on. There's 2 pedals: gas, brake. Any asshole can drive in an emergency.
Michael knew 10 and 2.
Michael knew 10 and 2. Michael knew 4 and 6. He knew what he had to do. I don't know.
That's a very dangerous way of driving. You're like,
Well, did you see the way he was driving? Yes, he was all over the place. He was, Any asshole can escape. If you're in a mental asylum, right, and you jump in a car and you know what a car is and it's going to get you somewhere faster, I venture to say you could probably figure it out pretty quick.
maybe he read a lot of like auto magazines
Maybe.
locked up in the Smith Grove library.
Okay, now there you go. Now think about it. You're talking about a slasher movie. All slasher movies, if you really want to examine them, you could probably question just about anything in just about any one. Now, is that really such a big deal?
No, it's not such a big deal, but it is a little bit of a, we don't need to explain this. The way, like, in Friday the 13th, I was just watching Crystal Lake Memories, so I have it fresh in my head, listening to the director talk about that disaster that Jason Takes Manhattan is. He's like, oh, we don't need to explain how the boat got into the Atlantic. We don't need to explain how Jason swam to New York. You know, maybe you do a little, but I mean, you know what I'm saying?
In this case, the line explains it. No, in this case, because it cut back to him, and he says, "Sam, for God's sakes, you can't. Haddonfield's 150 miles away. He can't drive that. Well, he was doing very well last night. Maybe someone here give him lessons." Explains it all. It was written so that you could say, "Oh, they addressed it. Done." Whether you buy it is up to you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you know what? I can get on board with that because the fact that they put the line in there. You know, if somebody said, how the hell did Jason swim here to Manhattan, it'd probably make it a 4 out of 10 versus a 3 out of 10.
Just address it.
That's true. No, but I also, you know, I mean, I just found some of the little things a little silly. And, you know, the knife obviously looked fake. The Bob kill, the knife clearly doesn't go all the way through. And just the whole slashing at Laurie, like, for the first 2 movies, and I love both of these movies so much, but every time Michael tries to stab Laurie, it's like he's the most uncoordinated kid in gym class. Like, he can't even come close. And, I mean, you got to admit, the scalpel with the eyes in part 2 is ridiculous. It's almost... Where he's got the scalpel. I think it's silly. He's covering his eyes, and he's just swinging. It's like, walk forward a step, and you'll get her. In part 1, he stabs the couch. He's right on top of her. He cuts her sleeve.
Yeah, but why are you picking on Halloween? You can pick on any slasher. That's what. So you think that a lot of people say that Halloween is the best slasher?
That's the only reason why I'm pointing. That's the only reason why I brought this up is because I feel like people place Halloween so far above every other slasher.
Yes, but you just kind of answered your own question at the beginning. Well, you got it from what I said in chat, because all slashers probably have some stupid things that you can pick apart, but the stuff that Halloween does that separates it from the others, there has to be. You know,
well, it's atmosphere. It's atmosphere. It's direction. It's the cinematography. It's everything you brought up before that they're praising.
I know, and those were things that obviously were pointed out to me and said. You know, Dave said like the things it does well, it does really well. That's true. But there are other slashers that do that as well.
What other slasher has an opening and ending like that? And if they did, they probably lifted it from them. But think about that. Think about that opening shot, and think about the way that film concludes.
I can think of a couple of slashers that I think are on par with it. That should be getting maybe a little bit more recognition. I shouldn't even say recognition because they're the other big popular slashers. I just feel like this one's placed so high. No, Nightmare on Elm Street to me
is great.
Should be at the top of the heap.
Who says it's not? Ask Joe Blow over there. He might say it's his favorite slasher.
You ask Jerry, he doesn't like it, but most people do.
Okay.
In fact, back in the day, I'd say it was Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street, and you could have easily flip-flopped the order for me when I was younger.
Well, that's how I personally feel now. That's how I've always kind of felt. I mean, like I said, I didn't grow up with Michael Myers. I got into Halloween later on, so I was always more partial to Freddy and Jason. But now I'll take all 3 of them. I don't want to get rid of any of them.
We know that.
But,
one for each hole.
You fucking skunk.
Who's in your mouth? Tastes like Jason.
I swear I was gonna say Jason's in my mouth.
I would too.
Freddy's got to go glove deep into my ass.
And I said one for each hole as if he was a woman. Sorry. It's just out of habit, you know.
He's got 2 ears.
Yeah, I got a couple extra holes.
A couple of nostrils, yeah. One for Chucky, one for Leprechaun. Right?
I don't know. I rewatched Black Christmas last night. I chose to watch Black Christmas as my finale for Halloween.
Interesting. Okay.
I watched the WNUF Halloween special. I watched.
Is that a wrestling special?
Nice.
Is that up there with the woman? The WWE, the woman movie?
The woman movement, you said?
The woman movie. Remember I thought that Lucky McKee movie, I think it's Lucky
McKee.
Oh,
the woman.
The woman was a WWE movie.
Right. I thought you said the woman movement. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, Brandon.
I don't even know what the hell I was saying.
You're talking about, you watched Black Christmas, you watched
House of Fears. And so I got my 2 Halloween films in, and then Black Christmas. And I found watching Black Christmas this time, and I prepared it specifically because I knew like Dave was going to come at that film a little bit. He even said it to me.
because you started with me in Halloween. So
no, I'm not starting. I'm just pointing out like just a few obvious flaws and little mistakes. But
just like
after watching Black Christmas last night, I feel like there's absolutely nothing wrong with any of that film.
I love it.
You're so shady.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ask me something. Ask me something that there's wrong with, and I'll explain it. The timeline works out for everything.
Are we doing it this show?
Yeah, maybe we should save it for episode.
I think we
gotta
save
it for the next episode. I think there's an explanation for everything, including the wart line.
I'll ask you one question. I'll ask both of you right now. If Black Christmas is so great, tell me right now without looking at anything, what's the name of the final girl?
What's the name of the final girl? Jess.
Yeah, how long did it take you? I rest my fucking case.
He said it right away.
He backtracked. Oh, let me see. What's the name of the final girl? Jess. If I would have walked up to you and said, "What's the name of the final girl on Halloween?" You'd say Lori, without even a fucking a second. You could say it for Aldi, Nancy. They got all. That's not a memorable character. There's not even a final fucking chase in that film. It's fucking some asshole running around looking at phones and shit, and while they're on the
phone paraphernalia.
Get the fuck out.
Lick my cunt.
Yeah.
Maybe we should save it for the next show. Okay.
I'll save it. I don't know why you're angry.
Take out my tits.
You got very angry.
You
got angry.
I even started off the whole thing by saying how much I love Halloween. And I think you're going to be shocked next week because I sometimes talk about it like it's going to be number 49 on my list, but it's one of my favorite slashers. I just feel like sometimes people are just like hyperboling it.
Oh, I want to stick this fucking pen through your eyes. Through your blank white eyes.
The whitest eyes. Yeah.
The All Saints eyes.
There you go. Very good. Listen, the same thing. What you said about Halloween, with it being on the top of so many lists, that's my thing with Black Christmas. So I understand where you're coming from. Like, I don't hate Black Christmas, and you'll see how I rate it when we get to our top 50. But I'm saying I don't hate it, just like you said you don't hate Halloween. You just don't understand the love because of A, B, and C. And that's I have the same exact problem with Black Christmas. So I can see where you're coming from.
It's not that I don't understand the love. I don't understand why we can't notice the flaws that this has if we can notice the flaws that every other great slasher has.
They all have flaws.
They all do. Yes.
We all do, Brandon.
Yeah,
we all have flaws.
Yes.
You more so than us.
Okay. Why don't we read some emails? We got emails. You guys want to read that?
Fucking read them.
This is from Amanda, and this one comes with a question. So, okay. This is from Amanda W. We love you. Thank you for all your support. Second anniversary show.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yes.
Thank you, Amanda.
Are we allowed to talk, Dave? Or was that just at the beginning of the show?
Talk all you want.
I'm done.
Okay. All right. Amanda says, "Hey guys, happy anniversary. Congratulations on 2 amazing years. Thank you for the countless hours of entertainment. I truly appreciate all the hard work and effort that goes into each episode. My question for the 3 of you is, what was your favorite episode to record? And were there any movies that you really didn't want to review but ended up liking?"
I gotta tell you, I love recording almost all of our episodes, if not. The reason I say almost all is I think it is all, but that sounds like a cop-out answer. But the big shows really do have a big special place in our heart. Like that top 10 horror.
I hear ya.
Was a standout show, and I think we've said that one already. So I wanted to come out with something other than the top 10. So I'd say that there was always room for Giallo.
Which top 10?
Now that's horror, episode 10. Sorry.
Oh, episode 10. Oh, okay.
40 years
the
of
40
horror.
years. Okay.
I apologize. Yeah. Thanks for correcting me there. But that was a fun ass show, episode 10. But episode 40, there's always room for Giallo. I thought was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I feel the same way as you. I mean, I picked a few different episodes. I picked 2 episodes that weren't as highlighted as those special ones because I felt like you were going to pick them. Yeah. So I picked the Sleepaway Camp episode, obviously because of how much I love the franchise.
That was a big episode.
And the Black Coat's Daughter episode 17, just because I felt like we were in our groove reviewing that film. I felt like that was one of our best reviews.
Nice. I'm going to take a cop-out answer, but it's the truth. So it's not really a cop-out. Well, anytime anyone is going to ask me this question, I'm always going to say the last show. Whatever the last show we did was. And the reason I say this is because every time I listen back, and this has been very consistent ever since this past year, like episode 30 and on. I'm not saying that the first 29 shows weren't great, because they were.
Brandon Solocast?
29B?
Skip.
You can't skip it. It goes so fast. There's no... By the time you go to push skip, it's over.
But seriously, though, every time I listen back for this past year, every show that's dropped, I'll listen back because, we hear them back and it's like 10 days later or whatever. And I forget half of what I say because I'm an idiot and I have a shit memory. And, it's just I listen back to every show. These guys do too. And every time I listen, I find myself cracking up. And it's weird because I would say probably like almost every show this year, I message these guys when I'm finishing listening or during, and I go, man, that last show was fucking great. We're at our peak, right? I've been saying this for like a year, but that's how I truly feel. It seems like it gets better each episode, and like every episode I have more fun as it goes on. So that's my cop-out kind of answer, but right now my answer is show 48. You know what I mean? It's just, that's how I feel, So
that's great.
In terms of the movies, not looking forward to any of them. I don't really feel like... I feel like we've done a good job of picking. Maybe... And I liked the films. I hadn't seen the last in the franchise before we did it, but maybe Paranormal Activity was just like... Kind of got to get in the... Gotta get yourself psyched up to sit down and watch 6 Paranormals in a row.
I was psyched up.
But I was pleasantly surprised, and
Well, I'm gonna tell you, The Wailing. When The Wailing was picked as a Patreon, I was like, it's fucking 2 hours and 20 minutes for whatever it is. I was kind of underwhelmed the first time, and I don't know. I just when I wasn't very excited about having to watch it and review it. It just came out a year ago. Whatever it was, I wasn't that excited. But when we got into it, and the way we got into it, it ended up being like maybe our most serious review of the year, mostly because I was asking all these fucking crazy questions. But I mean, it was a great discussion. So it ended up being like a shining moment for the year. So that's my answer, The Wailing.
And I've actually looked forward to all of the movies. I mean, the great thing about this show, and I think, and again, not to cop it out, so I'm going to give you the follow-up part of this, is that this really opened up checking out a bunch of movies that either I hadn't seen or that were ripe for a rewatch. So for that reason alone, this show has just got me, like, I've lived horror for the last 2 years. And before that, I was a horror fan, but I wasn't, and I've told you guys this, I was sticking to the usual suspects that I'd watch kind of over and over again. And I'd watch, 10 plus horror films that were new to that year. Now it's like we've got to consume everything because you want to do it for the show. And so I don't think there's any that I weren't looking forward to. I was maybe dreading that The Wailing was like a 2 hour and 45-minute movie or whatever it was. But as you've heard, if you haven't heard, spoiler alert, I loved it. I fucking loved it. So, no surprise there. So it kind of answers your question.
Did you love it?
I ended up loving it. Yeah.
All right.
You powdered face prick. I'm just it's going to give you some fuel for a while.
Oh, well, thank you, Amanda.
Thank you again, Amanda. Much appreciated.
Okay. All right, let's go up one. This is from DJ Reynolds. 2 year. Hey guys, I don't write or post a lot, but this was a milestone, and you guys deserve the love. Don't know how I came across the podcast at first. Probably was the top 10 of the year with the 22 Shots Boys 2 years ago, but I've been a fan ever since. Here's to 2 more. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
And thanks again to the 22 Shots Boys. See, they put us on, and there we go.
Yeah, those are the episodes I look forward to least. The crossover episodes. I want to change my answer, though, Amanda. It's not Paranormal Activity. It's every show we do with 22 Shots.
Asshole. What an ass.
Oh, Marco V, our homie. All right. Happy anniversary. Marco says, hello, hello.
You got to say it in Finnish.
Hello.
You're lucky I said it that
Hello.
Is
that sounds like regular Christian.
It's a slower English.
It's post-mortem Christian. Okay, yeah. I just wanted to pay my respects.
Pay my respects? Who died?
For the 2 years of awesomeness that you guys have given us. Thank you guys for giving me a reason to have a stupid-looking smile on my face at work while listening to your podcast. So happy 2-year anniversary, Dave, Christian, and even Brandon too. Even though
What is that all about?
well, listen, even though he sends those fucking Everwing messages and thinks that Picnic at Hanging Rock is a good movie. Love you guys, Marco V. Love you too, homie.
You should see the stupid face on Brandon right now.
I'm in shock that he doesn't like Picnic at Hanging Rock. It's a fucking classic.
It'll be a Patreon pick.
You'll hate it. You'll hate it.
Oh, really? I'll hate it?
I think you will. I think
Oh.
you'll absolutely hate it. I think Christian will hate it too.
Oh, that sucks. Well, any special reason why, or just because
It's
you know
a-
our tastes?
I don't like
It's much-
picnics.
Yeah, I'm not a big picnic person.
Fuck picnics.
Every time Yogi showed
Ants.
up with a picnic basket, it was like, fuck this bear.
Maybe you can Patreon pick it for us.
Don't Patreon me.
That was awesome.
I don't.
Was.
I'm using the Dave Z voice now. What voice
That's
is that?
what I
that you-
sound like? Holy shit.
No, you do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Who are you imitating when you do that?
Don't patronize me. Like that.
Oh, you
Saul
do the
Rosenberg.
jerky voice?
Yeah.
That's
Is that-
that's the
Okay. Yeah, when you do that, that's what I.
Shoes fell off.
Okay, Adam Claver says, "Hey yo, happy headiversary, you heroes of horror, you princes of podcast infamy.
Oh,
You 3 gentlemen are deliciously delightful and deserve all of the acclaim that I am humbly bestowing upon you."
ooh, I love this.
Yeah,
Awesome
Yeah.
alliteration, Adam.
yeah, he's good.
This is amazing.
So remember, Mr. Christian, when you're slaving over the editing, Mr. Brandon, when your mind races towards the next pun, and Mr. Z, when you're classily hosting over the newest episode that some dudes out there in podcast land are eternally grateful for all your hard work. Just a random question or two. Okay. Well, thank you, Adam.
That was awesome, Adam. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was cool. If you were to pit 2 franchises against each other, Freddy vs. Jason style, which would you pick? I'll go with Hellraiser vs. Phantasm. That's what Adam says. So, that's a question. If you're to pit 2 franchises against each other, Freddy vs. Jason style, what would you pick? What do you guys think that means? Taking the antagonist or taking the actual film?
Take just
No.
mashups. I think
The antagonist.
yeah.
Like a Freddy versus Jason.
He gave you
Oh,
the
so-
example.
I know, but he didn't. But he didn't. He said, "I'll go with Hellraiser versus Phantasm." He didn't say, "I'll go with Pinhead versus the Tall Man."
No, I think
So-
that's what he means. Pinhead versus Tall Man.
Yeah,
Oh, excuse me,
funny enough, you're
okay.
actually Dave actually has an argument there. Yes, because he went with the titles of the movies instead of Pinhead versus the tall man. You're right.
Tall guy
Yeah.
versus tall guy.
Yeah, the tall platform shoes. I like I like the ultimate mashup. I think if they're going to do it, they just got to go balls deep and go all in. And I've called it Clash of the Titans for years, and it's got to have everybody. The plot's going to be contrived one way or the other when you're doing a crossover thing. Think Freddy versus Jason. They had to get it together somehow. I don't know how many rewrites they had, but I think there was 19 scripts or something like that. And that's what they came up with.
Oh yeah, right.
The reality is it's going to be a hodgepodge to get everybody in, but they got to do it. And I figured the way that they could stop them is that they would have to conjure up Pinhead with the puzzle box, and he would put an end to everybody and send them all to hell for the big finale.
So it's a
Oh.
big cop out answer, basically.
Not a cop out at all. Yeah.
Not a cop out. I'm just taking everyone.
Because I'm fucking throwing in the kitchen fucking sink. Powder.
Oh, you may as well throw ash in there too if you're talking
Yeah.
about the kitchen sink, right?
Yeah.
I actually came up with an idea for a battle of 2 evil psychological minds.
Oh, I know where you're going. I think.
All right, I'll let you take a guess at it. Go ahead.
Okay, Hannibal Lecter versus Norman Bates.
Close. I didn't think Norman Bates. That would have been a good one. But I did Hannibal Lecter versus John Kramer.
Oh fuck! How could I forget?
From Kramer versus Kramer?
Kramer versus yeah, and then John Kramer versus Kramer from Seinfeld. I would love to see something like that. I love the psychological, like, brilliant psychopathic horror films. Like, I would love to see them pitted against each other. I think that's awesome.
No, it is a great idea. It's actually a fantastic answer. You one up
Thank
me, you prick bastard, you.
It is a great one.
Well,
It is a good answer.
they're in yours too because you threw everyone in there.
They might pop up. It's not a battle of the minds.
Hey,
Bet all the
Ghostface and
Braun.
Kramer are teaming up. They're fighting Pinhead and Lecter.
I'm gonna
Lecter?
go with,
Hardly know her.
The Ring versus The Grudge.
Isn't that already done?
Oh yeah, sorry.
What a cop out. Yeah.
I was just buying it. Well, because you know what? Because I looked at it, that question, like it was franchise against franchise.
Well, we'll do franchise against franchise then.
So, well, you can do it either way because these.
So
antagonists
from Trick or Treat, Sal.
Sal.
I mean, Sal, not so. Sal, a needle and a
Sal
thread. Sal. Yeah, I want to have Sal versus the guy from Motel Hell with the pig head. So it would be Sal versus Sal. I mean, yeah, it would be Sal. Yeah, that's a Sal, right? A pig.
Yeah.
Imagine that though, Sam or Sal.
Sal, that's horrible.
Sal from Trick or Treat versus the guy from Motel Hell with a pig mask on his head. It'd be like Yoda fighting freaking what's his name, Count Dooku, bouncing around and shit. Imagine that. Okay, I'll be a little more serious. Because I was gonna pick those two franchises because they both kind of rival each other because they both have fucked up continuity, especially now more than ever. I was gonna say Halloween versus Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so I'll just flip it a little bit and say Michael versus Leatherface. Because why not? Michael can drive. He's driving. He's on the way to California to go kill fucking to go kill his sister who was at the school.
She's at a
and
Texas.
his car breaks
Texas
down.
school.
I know what could kill Michael while he's driving. Michael versus Pin. Put Pin in the back seat. It'll scare the shit out of him. Fucking crash the car that he dies. Pin, what are you doing here?
Oh shit. Oh. Yeah, Pin versus Chucky because Chucky did the same thing. Didn't he come from the back seat? Well, Michael came from the back seat too. Shit, everybody comes in the back seat.
Everybody comes in the back seat.
Typically on Brandon's face.
Hey.
Couldn't you picture it though? Michael, his car breaks down. He's walking around in the woods, a la Rob Zombie's H2. He's haggard. He's confused, and then he just happens to stumble upon Leatherface, who's doing some shit in the garden outside his house.
The garden. Yeah, he's planting tomatoes.
He's trimming hedges.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It'll be a more fair fight. It won't be a chainsaw. It'll be a weed whacker. What franchise do you believe has the best, worst continuity?
Worst is Halloween.
Agreed.
Sorry.
Texas Chainsaw.
Or Texas. Those two,
Yeah,
right?
Texas,
the ones.
yeah.
Yeah, they suck. There is no continuity. Even the ones that are supposed to line up sometimes still don't. Right?
Even Friday the 13th, with the dates not matching up and everything being so fucked up that you're trying to piece it together and wedge the puzzle pieces in and it doesn't fit, at least you could somehow explain it away a little bit better than Halloween or Texas Chainsaw, for sure.
I agree. I think the best continuity is going to have to go to Saw. Saw or Phantasm. Phantasm kind of does it right, too.
I actually said Nightmare. Nightmare, really, it's Nightmare 2, 3, Nightmare 1 through 6 kind of works. They explain it all. Like, they follow the timeline. 1 happens 5 years later, 2, then she comes back for 3, then you're following the dream. They take it from the Dream Warriors to the Dream Master and then the Dream Child, that continuity, and then 6 takes place, 10 years after that one? And then I guess the new Nightmare is really the only fish out of the water in the remake. But by that point,
yeah, I was thinking Scream, Final Destination,
and then you're bang on with those too.
Saw.
Definitely Saw. I mean, shit.
Good answers.
They take it to another level in Saw, where they're freaking. You know what I mean? I was listening to 22 Shots discuss it today, saying, wouldn't it be cool if somebody could piece together a chronological version of it, like all the flashbacks that we get, like especially in parts 4 through 6, and just do it in order, sit down and watch it in freaking complete order. I wish somebody could arrange that. I wish I had the ability to do
I think it can be done, but I'm not the one who'd want to take on that task.
It'd be fun, but I just don't have the skill.
Did you get to see Jigsaw?
No. Okay. Maybe I'll get to it. Maybe I won't. You guys know I haven't been gung-ho about it the entire time. I guess just the bad taste left in my mouth with that final chapter just fucking... I was like, well, that's a shitty ending, but just let him rest in peace now. I don't want to... And then, I don't know, I'm not saying I won't see it. I'm just not rushing out.
Okay.
Didn't seem to get favorable reviews.
I saw it.
Even by horror fans is what I mean. So what do you think? Or are you saying
it's my least favorite in the series.
Holy shit. What? Really? I wasn't expecting that.
There were some people clapping in the movie theaters. I love the direction it went in. I didn't like the approach they took to get it there. I felt like they needed to strip it back even more. I felt like the traps were clumsy. I felt like the writing was just, I mean, look, the Saw movies aren't known for the greatest dialogues. Usually it's cheesy, especially when the tape's playing, John's giving his, his whole spiel. But the regular dialogue amongst the characters was like cringeworthy. Oh. I was like, oh man, this is not good. It's still above average because it's a Saw film, but I didn't even like the new production of the music.
Oh,
really?
I wish they hadn't changed it. I mean, it still sounds like it, but I wish it was just the original.
Are there going to be more? Do they leave it open-ended?
Yeah, I liked where they went with it. They opened it up for many, many more films, which I like because I like the films. I still rate this an above-average film.
Oh.
But, it was just maybe too much time has passed. It was just it didn't get me the way the others did.
Dude, you're that high on the series? You think that every movie is average or better in the Saw series?
Yeah.
Wow, I do not feel that way about Saw 7 at all. I mean, I was thinking of my ratings today because I was listening to them do their ratings. I would rate Saw 7 like a 3.5 out of 10. I think
really.
What
did they get? What did they give it?
Oh no, they were actually fine. They were like, I think in the 6 area.
Yeah, like that's what I'm thinking. Like even the weakest ones would be like a 6. And when I saw this one, I was like in a 5.5. I will have to see it again, not in the theaters, but I don't know. It just didn't have the feel. You kind of see where things are going.
Yeah.
It was trying to be, I think, a little bit more clever than it was. Usually it's like overly shocking when certain things happen though, and it's like, oh, well that's this, and it was kind of like you could see everything coming.
Oh, well, I'll get to it before the end of the year. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's wrap this email up. Have a good night, boys, and remember, the only thing better than getting head is getting exploding heads. Horror podcast. Thank you, Adam.
Should be our tagline.
I know, right? Well, maybe we're debuting the new logo. Maybe we can slip that in there somewhere.
Brayden's ass.
I think.
Well, no, you got to change it for me. The only thing better than anything better than getting head is giving head.
Somehow, I don't think we're going to put that in our advertisement.
I don't know why.
Okay, moving on. Brian Christopher, there he is, our old homie, E.T. Hicks. All right. Dear Misters Pesci, Cronenturd, and New Blood. Just wanted to say congrats on 2 years of top-notch podcasting. Since episode 1, Exploding Heads has been a heaping helping of horror comfort food, and I've yet to miss a minute. Here's to many more anniversaries, which may require a contingency plan should Brandon finally asphyxiate in the middle of a recording. Happy anniversary, fellas. Sincerely, Brian E.T. Hicks Christopher. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. I was gonna call him by his nickname, but no, thank you, Brian.
There you go. He's been around since the beginning. He's been a great supporter, and yeah, he's our homie. Oh no!
You lost your notes?
I deleted all my notes.
Delete all. Recover? No, delete all.
Motherfucker.
Why won't this come back?
Okay, Neil Robson. 2 years. Hi, guys. Congratulations on 2 years. Thank you for the many hours of information, discussions, and entertainment. Keep up the great work. Cheers.
Thanks, Neil.
Boom. Thank you.
Short but sweet.
Bada boosh.
And Charlene. All right. Bonsoir.
I like it.
That's how you say it, right? Right, Christian?
Yeah. Boner soir is what you say.
Oh, mother. All right. Hi, how's my favorite trio doing? Good. Congratulations on the 2-year anniversary. Dave and Christian, you guys are awesome. And Brandon, you suck. Calm down, Jersey boy. Everyone knows I freaking love you in a charming Annie Wilkes kind of way. I've said it to Brandon many times, but I feel like every episode is better than the last. Congrats on putting out such a quality show for us to enjoy. All right, that's enough of me sucking your dicks. Have fun tonight.
Never enough, Charlene. But thank you, thank you.
Yes, thank you. P.S. Christian.
Oh. I know what she's going to say.
You still owe me a pack of candy corn as payment for my chopping mall idea.
They do not have candy corn in France.
If it's
which
good,
is a very sad thing.
It is weird. Well, if it goes into production, you might get a piece of candy corn.
Did you realize that you can glue candy corn together and it looks like a corn on the cob?
No.
That's why I always wondered why candy corn was called candy corn, and Charlene told me. She's like, if you put it together in a pattern, it looks like a corn on the cob, and she sent me a video or a picture, and holy fuck, it looks like a corn on the cob when you glue them all together.
She's really infatuated with candy corn.
She loves candy corn.
Really?
Has she ever eaten it before?
Yeah, she loves it.
Okay.
I love candy corn.
Do you?
I will have one and go, yeah, this is why I don't eat this candy.
Okay, I have an audio and an email from the same person. This is from our homie Trin. So, check it out. I'm sending you guys a brief audio file. It pretty much says exactly what this email says. If you can or want to use the audio file instead of reading it, it's up to you. Just do whatever is easiest for you. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm just going to press play.
Hey there, Brandon, Christian, Dave. This is Trin here. I just wanted to thank you guys for making my work days better and let you know how much I really enjoy your show. I found the podcast a year ago, and at first I thought you guys were a bunch of accidental geniuses. Now, after listening for so long, I know you're just witty smart. You guys can consistently make me laugh in under 5 minutes, and you're definitely a top-tier podcast.
Ooh.
I know because every time Jason Lloyd posts a podcast blitz, it toys with my emotions. I get all excited and pause whatever I'm listening to just to be disappointed. You guys put out an awesome show, and I want you to know I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Wow. Nice.
Thanks, Trin. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. Thanks,
Made me
Trin.
weepy. And I'm not,
Right?
that's no BS. That's awesome. Thank you.
It is awesome.
Awesome's my favorite word, I think, but it sums it up.
Awesome. Yes. Okay, and one more voicemail. And then we are done, boys. Done. Not with the show, but done with this. Done with this chapter. This is the voicemail, and I am attempting to play it.
Hey guys, this is Matt the Angry Ginger from the Bad, the Weird, and the Cheesy podcast. Just calling in to wish you guys a 2-year anniversary. Damn, that's a pretty big achievement. And Dave, Brandon, and Christian, I just want to say you guys, I just love listening to your show, and what your show is one of the inspirations for me to start podcasting. Just the fun atmosphere you guys create. You know, showing that you can talk about movies, be fans, and not be so uptight about it. Yeah, I never get sick of listening to you guys. So here's hoping another 2 more years of the show. Take it easy, guys. Bye.
Wow, another really nice
Yeah,
message.
thanks, man. Holy shit. What was his podcast again? Sorry. I think we should shout it out there. Why not?
Was it the good, the bad, and the weird? Hold on. Let's
Yeah,
see.
he said it so fast at the
Hey,
beginning.
guys, this is Matt the Angry Ginger from the Bad, the Weird, and the Cheesy podcast. Just calling
Okay.
in to wish you
The bad,
The
the weird, and
bad?
the cheesy?
Yes, the weird and the cheesy.
The good, the bad, and the ugly?
That.
The
that's
bad,
it.
the weird, and the cheesy.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. That's this show. I'm the good.
I'm the bad.
Oh! Brandon.
I'm the
Gotta be-
cheesy.
You gotta be quicker.
I'm the cheesy. No, that was really nice of him. I'm glad I mean, look, that's been our approach since day one. We've had formats set for the show, but it's always got to be fun first. And we are fans. Like, we're not, like, we don't take it seriously in terms of, we're preaching to you. We're giving you our opinions, and we're having a good time doing it.
Fact. Our
Fact.
show's the best show in the fucking history of podcasts. Fact. I hate posts like that.
I'm glad it encourages more people to podcast. I wish it would encourage Christian to stop podcasting, but
Never gonna happen. I don't know what that means.
it was just motorboated. No,
Motorboat, whatever gets in my way.
He's doing his what's her name? He's doing his Chris from the end of part 3.
It could be tits. It could be capitalize.
I love it. Awesome. You know what? Thank you again, and
Thanks,
you really
everybody.
should promote that. You should promote that on the group page. Go right ahead, man. Do it, because we didn't know about it, and you support us, and you send us, voicemails and whatnot. Put it out there, man. So,
And if you have a
people can check it
promo,
out.
send it to us, and we'll put it on the show.
Yeah, boom. You might even link it in this episode. How's that? Okay, I want to play this because it's been a while, and every show I've been saying that
he won't hear this until the next episode. Until we put this episode out, we're telling him to bring us We're telling him bring us a promo. Like, we're not live. We're just telling him we'll put it in this episode. Except you won't hear it until the next episode.
There you go. Well,
so when you hear it in the next episode, we'll go back and we'll link it into this episode that no one will listen to anymore.
Just send us a promo. We'll do something with it.
Okay. Whew. All right, let me play this because.
Get the hell out of here! The last guy did the same thing. You were the guardian. Yes, and you just broke my glasses. The last guy did the same damn thing. You just body slammed me and broke my glasses. Get the hell out of here! Hey, you got it. He just body slammed me.
And then part at the end is gold. He just body slammed me. I just picture it in my head. Him turning and looking at somebody. He just body slammed me.
No, and the guy won the next day too. But it's just who uses body slam that many times in a row in a sentence.
You just body slammed me and broke my glasses.
Not you just hit me.
Right.
You body slammed me.
You just assaulted me.
Remember when Hogan picked up Andre the Giant? He body slammed him. God, I love that guy. We got to get him on the show. Maybe for the reunion.
Yeah, but if he starts talking, all we want him to say is the line. Okay, all right, off the show.
Yeah, we'll get him to say the line, then we'll bust his balls a little bit. Maybe we can get some new material out of him, you know?
You're a hack reporter.
I just love that part of the end now. He just body slammed me.
I think I like the way you do it better.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, all right, what's next? We got our emails. That stuff is all done. We got some topics and some questions. What do you guys want to do? You want to look on the Facebook? Do you want to talk about some topics that we came up with?
So let's tackle the questions first, then we'll
tackle them.
Tackle my tits.
Let's body slam these questions.
Okay, so yeah, we got some questions for tonight's show. Chris Hall asks, is Dave training for a serial killer role in a movie? That shaggy hair and beard creeps me the hell out.
And that laugh.
Well, if things keep going the way they're going, it's not going to be a movie. I'm just going to be a serial killer. So, all right, let's move on. Josh Ellis, if you could remove any film from existence.
Christian. Oh, film. Never mind.
My feelings.
Which one would it be and why? Now, should we answer just as horror?
Yeah, I think that's correct for the show.
Okay.
It's Exploding Head Horror Podcast.
It's actually a horror movie podcast.
What? You're right, it is.
Doesn't even know the fucking name of the show. You fucking part-timer.
Part-timer, he says.
Psycho remake.
Oh, that's a fucking good answer.
Psycho. It doesn't need to exist. In fact, it doesn't exist anyway.
Okay, it doesn't exist. All right.
There's so many movies that really don't need to be. Like, I really dislike the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Like, I thought it was really just piss poor. Psycho's a good one, man. Like, I mean, it really did add nothing to the series whatsoever. Because think about it, the Omen remake, some people like it, but it was a shot for shot. Like, it didn't really...
Unnecessary.
It was unnecessary.
All those shot for shots should be removed because you shouldn't make a shot for shot remake of a classic film. If you want to pay homage to it and remake it, add something new and exciting to it that they couldn't do 40 years ago when they did it. Don't add inferior acting and the same fucking thing.
And the funniest part of what Gus Van Sant, when he tried to do what he usually would do and put the experimental elements in, that's the small, it's like literally a percentage of Psycho that worked. Like, and we're just talking about a very small part. And some people didn't like that, but I liked the deer in headlights. I liked all that shit, but it was almost fish out of water because everything else was shot for shot and miscast, in my opinion, and just, you know, everything else was just wrong. So, good answer. I don't want to piggyback off of it, but I might just have to do the cop-out of a Nightmare on Elm Street remake. But your Psycho remake is a much better answer.
That is a good answer. But it's not personal and passionate enough for me. I'm trying to think of, like, on another level, something, a movie that really impacted the genre. And what it spawned was something that you didn't like, So I could be way off on this because I don't necessarily dislike the movie. And I was going to choose another movie because it's actually a better example, but people will really not understand it if I pick that movie. So I'm going to say Jason Lives. And I'm not trying to be a dick. And I really am not. But the reason I'm saying Jason Lives is because that was the one that did two things.
I'm off the show.
Sorry. No, hold on. That was the movie that did two things in a big way that movies before hadn't done. And that's interject that degree of comedy into a slasher. And people don't give it credit for this. I'm going to give it credit for this. Introduce the self-awareness into horror.
Yeah.
Because, right, most people will look at Scream and say they were the ones that started the self-awareness. Well, yes, they took it to another level, but Jason Lives, they kind of started poking fun at the subgenre of slashers and the self-awareness with some of the things they say. And that's okay to a degree, but it really spun out of control, and then everything became self-aware, and there became a whole lot more comedy. I'm going to say that. I could say Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and just be a dick, but because that's comedy that's that got too much. But I think Jason Lives was first, so I'm going to say Jason Lives. As a Friday fanboy, I'm going to actually say
Lord, I know. It's shocking to me.
Yeah, but don't you understand why? Don't you think those are good reasons? Because of what it spawned? I'm not necessarily saying bury that movie. I'm saying...
I like the self-referential shit. I do like that. If you're talking about comedy and horror, that's a hit and miss for me too. It did get played out, and then shit happens, and then you go through cycles. We're going through a cycle again. We just had the comedy. We've talked about it on a couple of shows already, where we've went through a comedy horror year, and then we went through the independent year. We're in the mainstream year. This is what happens. They go through these little. Then horror will die again, quote unquote, and then it will recycle and resurface yet again and reinvent itself again in the next phase. This always happens. Horror gets big, and then it takes a shit dive for a bit, but the horror fans keep it going, and it slowly builds again. And we talked about it. We said from the 2000 till to now, this has been probably record. We're coming up to almost 2 decades.
It's been great for the most part, yeah.
Now we're saying that.
Well, what Dave did is instead of eliminating a shit film, he went back and eliminated the source that spawned the shit.
Yeah.
Right, that's smart. It makes them. Well,
you could argue that Nightmare on Elm Street, the first Nightmare on Elm Street, is the one that did that.
I thought he was going to pull out Scream.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Scream would have been too asinine. I would have been vilified for saying Scream because I love Scream.
The reason you have Jason Lives, though, is because Freddy, the supernatural Freddy, was wisecracky. Then they upped that in Freddy's Revenge, so maybe Freddy's Revenge is at fault, because by the time then Jason Lives came, they were like, shit, what do we do? Well, we'll add a little supernatural element, we'll revive him, bring the real Jason back, boom, inject some comedy, take a fresh take on the series, boom. I thought it was kind of refreshing. Maybe I'm in the minority. Actually, I'm not. What I've come to realize is that a lot of people do back up Jason Lives.
They do. Yeah, I know.
I can't agree. I'm not saying you're
my rating
valid.
For Jason Lives has gone up recently.
I think your timeline might be wrong, though. Let me see. When Nightmare on Elm Street 2 came, and he's not wisecracking. All he said is, you got the body and I got the brain. There was no real comedy in there. It didn't really
help yourself, fucker.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Like 87. And I love this movie. Dream Warriors was 87.
That's where it became, okay, Jason Lives came out the year before.
Right. Yeah. So I'm still going to give Jason Lives. It took comedy to a different place in horror. Comedy and the self-awareness. It's a twofer. That's what I'm saying. Because two things that I'm not so crazy about that both got played out happened in that film.
But not as many people saw Jason Lives as saw the Freddys.
Nightmare and 1985 would have been a pivotal year in horror comedy. Return to the Living Dead. You had Reanimator. All of them tongue-in-cheek.
Right. That's the right way. But that's the right way. That's the right kind of comedy. I'm fine with that.
But
there's different type.
Well, Return to the Living Dead was a little bit more in your face. I just love the way they did it.
Anyway, let's move on. Okay.
You know what? I'll give you another answer, too, and it's an answer that I'll use later on the show, too. I wish Possession was never made.
Back off.
Possession. Okay.
Masterpiece.
Willis, says, what horror movie you feel like was a bait and switch? Mine was Jeepers Creepers 3 and Blair Witch and Mother as of late. What do you think he means by the movie being a bait and switch? Because I'm thinking about Jeepers Creepers.
Marketed a certain way or expecting a certain thing, and then you get something completely different. So I don't know anything about Jeepers Creepers 3. I figured, not a direct sequel to the series with the creeper?
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea, and I kind of know now with Mother, but it doesn't really happen to me because I watch so many trailers and I read about the films before I see them. I know it happened a lot with It Comes at Night this year. Everyone's like, what the fuck came? Nothing came at night.
Oh, boy. Well, listen, I don't watch trailers and I don't get any information about the film, so I guess I'm immune to the bait and switch these days.
No, you should be the one who gets baited and switched a lot. You should be like going in, like thinking, okay, I'm going in to see this, and then it's like, oh, that's nothing like what I expected to see.
No, it's the opposite. If I don't know anything about it, then how can I have any expectations? All I know is that it's on the horror movie radar. You know what I'm saying? So like, It Comes at Night. I go walking into, okay, well, it's on the radar of horror movies. Let's watch it.
See, I feel the opposite because I watched the trailer for It Comes at Night. I read about it, and I'm like, okay, this isn't a monster movie. I knew going in this isn't a monster movie.
Yeah, but people always complain about, I saw the trailer and this wasn't what it advertised. I saw the trailer for It Comes at Night, and when I went and I saw it, it wasn't what I was expecting at all. Same thing with The Witch. I was expecting this when I saw a commercial for The Witch, and then I went there, I'm like, this wasn't what was advertised. That's how I think people get baited and switched, because they're expecting something because of seeing the trailer. But I guess you have a different interpretation. I see it completely different. If you have no reference point and don't see the trailer and you walk in blind, then how can you complain? It's like we talk about all the time. You can blame the marketing, but you can't blame the film itself. So I don't know.
Maybe so. Lady in the Water was like that for me because I'd been watching, the first 4 M. Night films, first 4 horror films, and just thinking, okay, I'm going into a horror film, and it's not really a horror film. It's more of like a fantasy drama. I loved it though, but like it was totally not what I expected. It just threw me off guard. But I've grown to really love it.
Thank you. I didn't realize it. The Village. The Village was a bait and switch for me, and because of that, I didn't like it the first time I saw it, and now I happen to love it because going in, second view Dave, going in expecting, knowing what it's about, and taking the film for what it is different. But it was advertised as a monster movie, So there you go. That has to be my answer. It was The Village. Cool.
Good one.
I don't know if I've ever been bait and switched. I don't.
You should try it sometime.
Yeah.
You've been masturbated and switched?
Yeah, because like.
Yeah, you use your left hand. The masturbate and switch.
That's a stranger. You put it in the freezer for a couple of minutes and then you.
Now we're talking. Hear that, guys?
Isn't that the Victor Salva? Yeah. Oh, no, that's a kid's hand in the freezer for an hour. Sorry. Oh, God.
Hamburger helper, that little hand,
Yeah, I'm sure it's happened, but I'm trying to think, like, even from a sequel standpoint.
Okay. All right, let's continue on. Did you finish, Christian? I'm sorry.
I didn't have a definitive answer.
So you finished for him.
I finished for you. There you go. The masturbate and switch. Okay. Oh, here's our homegirl, Christine Stroh. Congratulations on 2 years. That is amazing. To all 3, Desert Island, 1 movie and 1 thing to eat. What is it?
Hellbent and penis. Oh, sorry. Oh wait, no, that's Vince's answer. Sorry.
Oh. He doesn't even actually like Hellbent that much. He's like, yeah, it's okay.
I thought you were gonna say he doesn't like penis that much. I was like, you're a fucking liar.
It's an acquired taste.
Dave, what were you gonna say before I just threw that joke in that I pre-wrote?
No, it's Christine's. It's a pre-wrote. Desert Island. I think we answered the Desert Island movie a few episodes ago. No.
Yeah, and it will always change. We have.
I feel like we did, but I feel like I came with the same answer.
Hellbent and penis.
No. I think I said Fright Night the first time around, and I'm sticking with Fright Night. And my snack of choice is Junior Mints. They're so darn refreshing.
I think it was food of choice there, Coconut Lips.
That's food.
Yeah, your food of choice. So watch movies. Your candy.
Well,
you're gonna live off those fucking mints?
I'm not. Well, why, if I'm dying, would I be watching Fright Night? I'm assuming we have all the luxuries there because we have a DVD or a Blu-ray player set up to watch Fright Night.
Fucking guy.
Yeah. Christian,
You got a
anything
TV?
You eat, you're gonna get sick of anything that you eat. Right?
This guy's eating
Sure.
protein. He's raw fish.
Oh, fuck
Okay.
it then. Okay, fine.
Let's change it. How about not Desert Island? How about you're about to get the electric chair and this is your last film and last meal? Oh, no, that doesn't work. That's not the same thing.
Hellbent and penis.
Oh, fuck, man. I think I used The Thing. I think I'd Friday 2. I'll still say The Thing, and I'll just say popcorn if we're going for snacks.
God, you really thought outside the box there. Popcorn, really?
Yeah. Well, I thought we were going to have a meal. I had fucking prime rib, creamed horseradish, your fucking
Wait.
junior mints.
Right.
You know, the crazy thing is you can get prime rib now because they have all those movie and dining experiences now. So you could probably get prime rib watching a movie.
You can, but let it be a skunk. That's fine, Christian. If you really have the choice, your answer is really popcorn over prime rib?
No, it's not, because I thought Snacky over here was dictating the new fucking answers.
Just because he had snack doesn't mean we have to snack, does it?
No, it doesn't.
When I read that question, I immediately thought, oh, movie and your favorite movie snack.
No, you immediately thought of penis and hellbent. I know that's what you immediately thought because you wrote it down on a piece of fucking paper.
I pre-wrote it.
Yeah.
You
I
just
just pre-wrote that. I pre-wrote it. He's so proud of himself. They're like, I actually pre-wrote that. There's a piece of paper in his fucking house right now, Dave, that says Hellbent and penis on it.
It's on the computer and it says Hellbent and penis.
I hope his
Then
dad
it's
comes over and
real
like tries to clean off the computer and go, what the fuck is going on here?
Hellbent and penis. It should be like the name of a band or something.
Yeah, no, I want steak, I want a ribeye, rare, patates, and
Only
I
one
want...
thing. No pack of patoots. No, none of that.
What do
Just
you mean
fucking
pack
one
of-
thing she says.
Oh, okay, prime rib. Do I get wine with it or no?
No, one
It
thing.
says one
Prime
thing
fucking
to
rib.
eat.
Jesus Christ.
Prime rib and ocean water it is.
I don't want it. That hard of a question. One movie, one thing to eat.
No, but we're trying to milk this for as much as we can, right?
Yeah, fucking lactating memories.
Yeah.
Crystal. Okay, my answer is I'm not gonna change. I'll still say Friday too. And I will bring. There's no repercussions. I'm not gonna get sick from eating too much of it. I'm not gonna get the shits. Nothing. Right? It's just bring what you want to bring. I'm gonna bring my mother's lasagna. There you
Oh.
go.
Ma, did you bring the cooking utensils? Like, I want the lasagnas.
I didn't know we get to bring a friend and bring their cuisine with us.
I'm just bringing a big fan of it. That never ends.
Yeah. I brought Jamie Oliver. Cook me up something, Jamie.
Oh shit, Charlene. I'm still crying about the live stream being at 10. Yeah, we missed you. I know. It's 3 a.m. for her, so.
We missed her, but she didn't miss much.
That's true. It sucked. But she said she's going to write us an email, and she did. So thank you again. Okay, Cody Robinson. What is the color purple?
It's puce.
Oh. Okay, Mike Merriman. All over the place today. I think I enjoyed Annabelle Creation more than It, as in It, 2017. Am I crazy, or am I ahead of the curve of hipster horror opinions?
He's not crazy. I've heard people say it. And Annabelle Creations is getting a lot of positive feedback from people.
I enjoyed Annabelle Creation. I don't have it on the level as It, but they're both good films. So the thing about Mike is he's a fanboy for the original. Usually
Annabelle?
the guys that are the
For the original Annabelle?
I don't think that exists. No, for the original It, the miniseries.
Oh, okay.
I like
So-
Annabelle too. As well, I meant.
We all seen Annabelle, correct or no?
No, I have not.
I have not seen any Annabelle.
So they can't even answer. So Mike, I'm going to say you're a fanboy so hard for the original. That's why you don't like the new one as much, because you compare. But they're both good films, so I don't think you're crazy or ahead of the curve. You're just you.
You're definitely not ahead of the curve. Trust us.
You're behind it. Shit, buddy. Aaron West, I had a question a while back about sequels. You read it out on the show, but because you said it could take some planning, you said you do it on another show.
And then we
So-
never did it.
So now he's putting us on the spot again. So here's the question, if I remember it correctly. If you could make any part 2 to a horror film, what would it be, and how would you pick up the story at the end of the first?
Can it be a part of redoing a part 2 that was already made?
Let me
Sure,
see.
Brandon. If it needs to be for you, yes.
What a fucking goober.
Yeah.
Another
Goober.
another better choice of candy than popcorn. Yeah,
Or
fucking
penis.
skunk.
I fucking love popcorn. I actually love popcorn.
I'm not a big popcorn guy.
Yeah.
The movie or the food?
Both. I love both.
Oh, okay. Have you
Anyway.
ever eaten popcorn while watching popcorn?
Yes. Can I answer this question?
Have
So
you
that
ever eaten Junior Mints while eating popcorn, while watching popcorn?
No one in the right mind does.
Have you ever eaten Junior Mints while watching The Sopranos while Junior Soprano was on screen?
Oh my fucking god! I'm about to go into
Or
myself.
have you ever eaten Junior Mints while watching Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Or Junior, that terrible slasher movie
Yeah.
about that kid from the 90s.
Yeah, great. Wow, I'm off the
Them's
show.
Jokes.
Yeah.
Them's the jokes. I'm removing myself from the show.
I must remove myself from this.
Okay, answer the fucking question. Go
Okay.
ahead. Shit.
Mine is entitled Digital Drome.
Oh, boy.
Videodrome has gone digital and been made available for streaming. In the era of pristine digital reproduction and the onset of AR and VR lifestyles, new highs and sexual stimulation is possible in the new flesh, the digital realm. It leaves the viewer's bodies as empty vessels, ripe for hacking and reprogramming, turning it into sex slave and assassins for Videodrome.
Wow,
That's my
is
sequel idea.
This guy's like Rain Man. This is the same guy who said popcorn a minute ago.
It's night and day. Right.
Yeah. Fuck
Anymore.
both of yous. And I thought
Wow.
literally it doesn't necessarily have to pick up right after the first one left, but you could easily have Long Live the New Flesh as a segue in, and we could have Max Wren digitized, Brian Oblivion if you need to. That could all exist in the digital realm.
Wow. That's great. There's nothing we could say. I think that's going to surpass that. That's good work.
Oh, I know.
Cronin turd.
I wrote that while eating popcorn.
Even came up with a title for his film.
Right? I know. What do you have? B, anything?
I got Halloween 2.
No, I had Nightmare 2.
Okay.
I was going to pick it up after the funeral of her friends and her mother, and she's on the hunt now looking for the other children of Elm Street because they're all dispersed.
Wow. Okay.
That's good.
And
I
then
like
it would and then they could eventually tie in where the last remaining children are the Dream Warriors for 3. Because I don't have a problem with Nightmare 2. I just don't understand why they didn't pick it up there.
Wow.
It was a weird choice for sequel. I think they were so quick to get it out because the success of the first one was like going crazy. So I think they just sort of streamlined it. Said, let's get it moving. Let's get it going.
Okay, I'm going to be real basic. Yeah, basic. My Bloody Valentine needed a sequel, don't you think?
Yeah, man.
Right? The way it ended? I mean,
Yeah.
now check it out. Dude walks away. We see it at the end. Now, I'm going to have to ask a question before I give a definitive answer here. When guy walks away, is he missing a limb?
Yeah.
His hand.
Okay, so he's damaged, but he's handless. Okay, it doesn't mean he can't kill.
Handless.
So guy, right? He's handless. What do you say they throw
I can't get a handle on this.
they throw some dynamite down there and blow up the fucking mine because they want to kill this person.
like the beginning of Halloween 5.
Yes, correct. And it blows up, and he floats down a stream, ends up with some fucking hobo. He puts a thing on him, and he says, "Hey, listen to this. If I can save your life. You're damaged. You're fucked up. All you have to do is agree to join my cult." And the guy says yes, and he puts a sign on him, and he gets to join the cult, and it gives him power. And a year later, he comes back. And they have a Valentine's dance again. And bodies start dropping. And you think that it's the killer. You know, the same guy from part 1. What's his name again? Axel?
Harry.
No, it's
well,
not Harry.
Axel. It was Axel.
Harry
was
Warden.
the-
Oh, you mean the...
yeah, he was a legend. Axel was
Right.
the one who was actually doing the killing.
Okay, so Axel comes back, a year later, and the other guy hooks up with the girl, the love triangle, and they're doing their thing, and bodies start dropping.
Well,
And
Axel's the good guy.
Well, ultimately, Axel's going to be the killer in this movie. So I was thinking, right. You
Axel
think
Foley?
that, yeah, Axel Foley. Anyway, it's gonna play out that you think that the other guy is the killer, and it turns out that Axel fucking flips, and he starts doing the killing.
Why'd he flip?
I don't know. I haven't written that much into
Is
it.
it
yet. I
because
just-
Slash left Guns N' Roses?
Is it because he went on to do Pluto Nash?
fuck. Yes, that's why. Okay, that's the best I got. That was good. Or maybe how about The Witch 2? Can we just call it Witches? And it can be The Further Adventures of Thomasin?
How about Witchy Woman? And you can play the song Witchy Woman.
Just Witches, I think, sounds more badass, right? Yeah. Witches. You know, the sequel to The Witch. And it's The Further Adventures of Thomasin. So she becomes part of the coven, and then it's a few years later, and when the witch tempts somebody, it's gonna become Thomasin's story. And we get to see her kill a baby and put blood on a broom and flying around, and she becomes, the witch.
I am the witch.
Just because I want to see Thomasin. And then,
I fucking stand corrected. It is TJ's the good guy. Axel is the fucking bad guy.
You fucking skunk.
Out of one of my favorite slashers, I fucked it up.
You're a disgrace to Canada.
Yeah.
Good God.
Canada doesn't deserve my bloody Valentine.
No, it doesn't deserve Christian.
Let's talk more about.
It doesn't deserve Canada. Sorry.
Let's talk a little bit more about witches.
Is this a sequel to that Angelica Houston movie, Witches? Because I like that movie. More mice. No, that was just called The Witches.
Witch 2 on the move.
Nice. See, now that is a joke. That is a joke, everybody. That's beautiful. Anybody else would have said Witch 2, Electric Boogaloo. But we don't do that on Exploding Head.
I was going to say 2 Witch, 2 Furious. But...
See? That's what's great about this show. That's better. See? I'm so sick of hearing that joke, Electric Boogaloo, every time somebody says a part 2 on a podcast.
That was my old one.
Good. I'm glad you've evolved and got past it. And On the Move is a much better reference. It's funnier. It's not played out like Electric Boogaloo's become. That joke and Shamalama Ding Dong are the 2 jokes I wish I never heard again the rest of my life.
Would you erase those jokes off the face of the planet?
Yes, I would.
Is that a
and
question?
I don't need to give her... And congratulations on 2 years. That's from Aaron. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, Aaron.
Denise Thomas, if time travel were a reality and you had the chance to experience the opening night of a horror classic, which movie do you select?
Friday the 13th.
Halloween 78.
I'm going Friday.
Yeah.
I would have said Friday. It's funny. I have been saying Friday for years. And the other night, last night when I watched Halloween and it ended, I leaned over to my wife and I said, man, could you imagine seeing that in the theater for the first time, not expecting that kind of ending? Because that kind of ending wasn't, none of that stuff was par for the course at the time, with the killer that can't die and the way, the way it ended and everything. That would have blown people fucking away. But
except Black Christmas.
Yeah, man. Friday.
No, those were actually 2 of the 3 answers that popped into my head. It was really the big 3 in terms of franchise: Nightmare, Friday, or Halloween. I chose Friday because, like I've said before, Friday 8 was the first horror movie I ever saw in theaters. I just wish it was not 8.
Fair enough. Man. Dude, Nightmare would be sweet too, man.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, David V. If you could make, now this one, we're gonna have to put our own spin on it because we were slightly confused. But listen up. If you could make any horror movie a completely interactive VR experience, what would be your first choice? Keep in mind that you have to follow the script and act out the parts of the character you're playing in order to beat your co-hosts' high scores. Choose wisely, my friends.
So do we each play as the same character over? We're not playing at the same time then.
The sticking to the script is the confusing part because then it would all be the same.
Yeah, I mean, you guys really read into it. I'm like, oh my God. Vince and I just talked about this on the last episode of GJF 13, and we said, wouldn't it be awesome? Like, the Friday the 13th video game was great, but wouldn't it be awesome if we had the total virtual reality submersion into that world? Being at the camp, the locales, and I said specifically Friday the 13th, the final chapter, but I think you could wedge everything into this experience, and that would be my ultimate answer, just because I love that universe so much. I would love that. Love it.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I thought of that. I came up with 2 different answers just because I was very confused with the characters. So with that answer, I came up with Shaun of the Dead, and maybe have it whoever kills the most zombies. You could play as any character. You could play as Shaun. You could play as Yvonne. You could play as Liz. Obviously, I'm choosing any one of the survivors because I'm not going to choose one of the people who dies. So that was my legit answer when I'm thinking, oh, we got to play out as the characters. But House on Haunted Hill, who can survive the longest in the house?
I mean, we're getting there. Like, this is going to happen It's happening now.
Yeah.
AR and VR, as I mentioned, like in my other thing, digital, it's happening as we speak, and it's already out. It's just evolving. We're at the early stages of it all happening. It's going to get crazier. Of course, porn's already embraced it because they always embrace these technologies first. They really do. And then it takes off from there. But just imagine that experience. I think just being terrified of running away from Jason, having to hide, having to try to fight him. Or you could choose to go fuck the girl. Or if you're a girl, fuck the guy. If that's what you decide to do in the game, you just have to pay your consequences.
Or if you're Shelly, fuck yourself.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But just imagine that, but going to Higgins Haven, running around Crystal Lake, going in for a swim if you want to go in for a swim. Like, oh, it'd just be fucking crazy. I'm excited at the possibilities. I don't know if we're fully answering the question properly, but I'm just saying we play different characters, and ultimately the goal, just like in the game, would be to survive or to kill Jason.
I was a little confused by the question. That's why I chose Shaun of the Dead, because I immediately thought of the scene where the two groups meet up.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, one could play as members of the one group, and one could play as members of this group, and whoever survives and kills the most zombies.
You know what? It just occurred to me that they got that from Seinfeld. Did you ever see that episode of Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Where they met the
She was not with the new gang,
Yeah.
Elaine was?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just occurred to me right now, this very second, when you described it, I thought of that Seinfeld scene. That's weird.
Yeah, the new Cherry.
Anyway,
George.
Yeah, it was cool. I came up with a crazy idea just now as you were explaining it. When you were talking, Christian, about Friday the 13th, something popped into my head. My original answer, because I couldn't come up with anything good, was Saw 3. I think it would be interesting to be placed. Remember that guy that's going through the whole everything in Saw 3, and his kid got killed, and he had to make all these decisions and torture himself a little bit and do all that. If each person was put in a situation like that, you know, if they could make it through the freaking game, and what would happen at the end, and based on your decisions and how quick you reacted and how you went through, I think would be really cool.
That would be awesome, actually.
Wouldn't it? Yeah, sure as hell would. But something also just popped into my head, and I have to share it. The Final Girls. Imagine if the three of us were the guys in the Final Girls that were in the know, that knew that this was a movie, and we had to try to save it so we could go back, and we could all interact with the characters a different way.
Yeah,
right?
man.
I'm so glad you brought up the Final Girls, just because I rewatched it recently for next episode, and fuck, man, it's so good.
Yeah,
good stuff. Oh, while we're at it, let's talk about our viewing for October. Because the reason I thought about it is because I can't tell you the movies I watch and how many, because I watched all 50 of the movies that are going to make my top 50 for next show. I rewatched them all. I finalized. I watched that, and maybe another, I would say, 10 flicks. 4 or 5 of them we talked about last show when we did those little reviews. And that's really all I've watched. So I've watched probably like 60 movies. What about you guys?
Christian?
Go ahead. I'm counting mine.
I don't know why I do this, but I tend to challenge myself.
What else is new?
So I said I wanted to do 75 movies in October, and I wound up doing 86. And 71 of those were slashers, and now all my slashers are done. I think I'm just under 150 slashers watched in prep for the show, and I've watched a couple of them twice. And I just started it up on 2017 flicks, but a lot of slashers.
Nice.
86. Yeah, I honestly felt like I could have gotten to 100.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Right?
Yeah.
86.
Hope you're not burned out.
No, you know what? I started off the year slow and wasn't getting into it, but now I'm into it. I'm ready to go strong for the rest of the year.
Nice. I believe I paced myself perfectly all year, and I couldn't be happier with it. So
nice.
And I did 33, but that includes some of the ones we talked about last show, and of course other ones that I've seen since then, and then just my normal the normal Halloween turnover, which we talked about. I think the last show of the top 20 movies I like to watch during Halloween as well.
I didn't watch any of them. Well, except for Halloween 1, 2, and 3, and Trick or Treat. But I mean, after that, because I was so tied up with slashers, I didn't watch any of the regular October movies. And I forgot to mention last show, House of a Thousand Corpses. I don't know why I left it off the list, but that's a Halloween film, and I love it. It's my favorite Rob Zombie film. So, you know.
You know something? I have a confession to make. This is the first Halloween where I watched Halloween-themed movies.
Really?
I don't think I've ever consciously done it.
Like Black
Christmas. No, I watched WNUF and House of Fears. Both take place on Halloween.
Nice, dude.
And House of Fears, I highly recommend. Very good film. WNUF, I love the way it was shot. I love the nostalgia feel to it, but I felt like the story part of it was a little weak. But the look of it and the commercials were actually like the best part of it, the faux commercials and stuff.
Yes.
I would rather have had like a half hour of that and keep the whole story that they tried to tell out of it.
Right on. Oh, and there's something I want to interject. Trick or Treat. I actually used a stopwatch. Because remember when we reviewed it last year and we were talking, I said, wouldn't it be cool? Yeah, the from the screw you to when the other guy says, screw you. How long it takes. It's like the first time you see it, I have it right here. It's like a minute and a half or something like that. And then when it plays out later on in the film, it's like 6.5 minutes. So it's way off. And I even said, I give that movie a 10 out of 10 if that much thought went into it. And it didn't. However, I still think it's an amazing film, and I could still give it a 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and I understand. Because when I think about Creepshow, I'm not going to say that every segment's a 10 out of 10. That Stephen King with the shit going on him is not a 10 out of 10. I'm sorry. I enjoy it. It's okay.
It's fun. Meteor shit.
I get itchy every time he tries to drink the orange juice and it spills all over him. I don't know why. It just makes me itchy.
I feel you. Yes. I think part of the Trick or Treat thing is because I'm such a Creepshow guy. I don't like when I see everyone else saying that Trick or Treat's the best, I kind of take a little bit of umbrage with it because I love Creepshow so much. And the other thing is when I hear people say that they watch Trick or Treat on Halloween instead of Halloween 78, which you never used to hear, because Trick or Treat's newer. You know what I mean? When I hear people putting it up on that pedestal, that also kind of rubbed me a little bit wrong. I mean, who cares what people like? I mean, I'm glad they do it.
It's funny because as you were talking about Trick or Treat, you were describing it in a way very similar to 78, where you were forgiving its slight flaws and still saying you can give it a 10 out of 10. So I immediately thought of Halloween 78. It's funny that you make that comparison. Well, it's not funny. Nobody's laughing.
No, but it gives you the feels, man. When a movie's that good, it doesn't matter. You can overlook certain little things.
I feel No, I'm that way. I think I gave it a 10 when we reviewed it.
Right on. Okay, let's continue on here.
Welcome to Dark Discussions, your place for the discussion of horror film, fiction, and all that's fantastic. A weekly podcast where the discussion is about the most recent horror and genre films. Intelligent talk on a genre that deserves intelligence. A conversation between co-hosts discussing not only the film, but also the connotation that the directors and screenwriters are trying to articulate. When you want more than a review, listen to Dark Discussions.
And speaking of perception, there's just one more scene I want to talk about, which is after Caleb discovers that Kyoto's a robot. Kyoto kind of peels off her skin, showing him what's underneath.
Now, wait a minute. I know where you're going with this, but tell me you weren't already thinking this 15 minutes earlier in the film. Exactly what he's thinking at that moment.
Which is he's a robot, too.
Oh, I considered the possibility.
Right, and that's what I like, is the fact that the writers were smart enough to know that this is what the audience would be thinking.
We've all seen Blade Runner.
Right, exactly.
www.darkdiscussions.com, wherever podcasts are found.
Are you tired of the cast? Are you sick of its casty ways? Well then, kill the cast. Are you having trouble in the bedroom? Is your wife tearing down your confidence and your manhood on a daily basis? Are your kids the bastard children of other men? Well then, what are you waiting for? Kill the cast. Kill the cast. Kill the cast. When you can no longer stand exotic, ravishing women approaching you in the street looking for a good time, when those bi-weekly infant blood transfusions simply aren't enough, when your parents just don't understand, it's time to kill the cast. Kill the cast. Kill the cast is the viable, safe alternative to injuring the cast, hurting the cast's feelings, or merely poking the cast with a stick. Why bother to leave the cast alive when you can kill the cast? Kill the Cast is vitamin rich and is part of a high protein, low carb, and low sugar diet. It's also calorie free, diabetic friendly, and recommended by 10 out of 10 dentists. Kill the Cast. Kill the Cast. Kill the Cast. I'm Mr. Watson from Horror Corridor, part of the Horrorphilia network of horror podcasts, and I approve this message.
Straight from a legend's mouth, you heard it. Kill the Cast, a horror podcast for everyone from Cenobites to werewolves. Come join us exclusively on Horrorphilia.com.
This is a distress call from across time and space. I am Babs, the automated biological support system for the humanoid known as the Witch. Witch vs. the Doomsday Clock is the weekly chronicle of his fight for survival and entertainment on the junk heap of the future. Episodes are transmitted in 15-minute pulses across the dimensional divide weekly for your listening pleasure. As you will learn, the future is not set in stone, and a flux capacitor is a girl's best friend. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, TuneIn, and on your Android device. Come join the rest of the Meat Popsicles in our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/witch vs the Doomsday Clock. The replicant known as Witch can be found on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr and Instagram by searching for THEWYCH. The Witch vs. the Doomsday Clock is a proud member of the Legion Podcast Network. Now in the words of Lord Humongous.
Just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror.
Lucas says, the horror genre is basically the black sheep of the movie industry. Movies like Silence of the Lambs and Psycho are seen as masterpieces, but most will never call anything a horror that gets to that level of acclaim. Why do you think this is such a stigma? It is bullshit. It is bullshit. It's just... I'll just tell you, I think that horror is a dirty word to serious, fans of film. It's bullshit, but that's how I look at it, no?
Yeah, I definitely see it. I don't agree with it. It always pissed me off. I think, some people go, oh, Christian, you and your like horror movies type thing.
You and your horror movies.
And it does irk me a bit because I'm like, well, why do you say it like that? Like,
right?
I love all types of films, but yeah, like.
What about German scat porn? Are you into that?
Yeah. Well, Two Girls and One Stanley Cup is my favorite. I told you that. I mean, it's Canadian classic.
Even if films like It or Get Out get nominated for any type of awards, I don't want to call them secondary awards because they're still big achievements, whether it's like editing or makeup or whatever it is. But we're never going to see a horror film get a top spot. I don't think we're going to see a horror film get a Best Picture.
Well, Silence of the Lambs did it, but then they didn't call it a horror film. But
the thing is, that they don't really even consider that a horror film. Like, I wonder what the thought process was with The Exorcist.
Right? How is that not horror? Right.
I mean that's straight up horror. So, and I mean,
you know what? Horror was. I'm going to say something that slashers and franchises put a fucking bad mark on the genre permanently. Yeah. And I hate to say it because obviously I love them. We all love them. But they did. Horror was still classy in the 70s to a degree, It was
80, 79 to that 83 with the slasher movie coming out a week. The shit that it's like, candy for us. Like, I'm not saying it's good. We could dissect it. We know that it's kind of garbage, but there's ones that are absolute trash and not worth your time, and then there's ones that are like mini classics or great little standouts. We realize that and recognize that now, but they were literally frowned down upon with Siskel and Ebert, campaigning against them, and like church groups campaigning against them, and then that carried over to Silent Night, Deadly Night, and it did leave a bad taste. And because it was popular and because kids loved them and were consuming them left, right, and center, they had a shitload of them being released. And they were very low budget, no money involved, no talent. So they became kind of they just became trash, quote unquote.
And that stigma's never left it.
or it's
No.
slowly leaving it.
Well, okay,
Even with the bigger budgets, you're not going to see people campaigning these movies hardcore for award recognition. It's not going to happen. And honestly, you don't need it, because we pointed out, and we do this every year, is, all the podcasts do when they review the newer films, is point out some of the really award-worthy films, and we've had a lot in the last couple of years.
Oh yeah,
some thought-provoking films. It Follows, The Babadook, The Witch, Neon Demon, Invitation.
Tons
that are, to me, are worthy of Best Picture, Best Acting, best screenplay, best cinematography. Just not gonna see
according to your review last week, Death Escort Service 2.
Right. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
Two deaths,
really,
2 escort.
I think it's a shame, because horror was still kind of classy, for even though they were doing different things, there was a lot of adult. It was adult oriented. It was geared towards adult. The Hammer films, that wasn't for kids. That's in the 70s, and the, Rosemary's Baby and the Satanic movies and other things. They were just presented differently, and I hate to say it again, but it was the slashers and the franchise that it's like that entered, and it made horror a dirty word, so dirty that when Silence of the Lambs came and those other films, they were called thrillers. They didn't want it to label it the H word. And yes, it is coming back slowly because of the success of films this year, but there's always going to be slasher movies and silly movies and whatever.
When you look at the people who decide these awards, it's always these uptight people who find controversy even with non-horror films.
Oh, sure.
Oh, why weren't there enough Asian people in this film? Why aren't there enough? I mean, there was a huge controversy. What was it, last year with not enough black people nominated, and then this past year, like, everyone who won was black.
Right.
And Herschel Gordon Lewis, I guess we blame Herschel Gordon Lewis.
There you go. Blame him. Okay, let's go. Matt C. What is the best George Romero Dead movie? Well, for me, it's Day of the Dead.
For me, it's Dawn.
For me, it's Night.
Oh my God,
no
that's
shit.
hilarious. Yeah, but Dawn of the Dead is the best. Like, let's just be honest.
And it's funny.
It was
I was going
for
to
me
say
for
Night
years.
with Day being a close second.
Wow. Dawn was my favorite for the longest time. Like the last 10 years, I've just come around more to Day. It's just I'm more into the everything going on there between the two groups, and I don't know. I think that the effects are a little better. But whatever. I'm glad we all had different answers. That's kind of cool. All right, Jason Luxton. Which horror movie scene stuck out with you the most from childhood?
I think we've told these stories before, kind of, because
Yeah,
I would say The Innocents with the ghost in the window freaked the shit out of me, and I had to turn away, and I remember not wanting to watch it. Friday the 13th, the Kevin Bacon spear through the neck, freaked the shit out of me. I had to turn it off, and that's what got me sort of fascinated with horror. And then a little bit later, and spears through the neck, and then a little bit later, Nightmare on Elm Street, when Freddy got his face pulled off in the first opening dream from Tina. That freaked the hell out of me and intrigued me as well. I was like 12 years old, and that's kind of what I saw, these things like sprinkled out throughout my childhood, and I was fearful, but that was also the fascination.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
those are good answers.
Here's all I remember. All I remember from childhood and seeing things that scared me, or that stuck with me, was the trailer that I put up not too long ago on our group page for the It's Alive, and I was like, fucking 3 years old, and it's my first recollection of fear. I remember where the television. I remember the way my parents, the apartment that we lived in. I remember the layout of that entire apartment just because of that experience. That's how clear it is to me, because I was very young. I was like 2 or 3. It's crazy. And I remember seeing that commercial and it fucking scaring me and like feeling fear for the first time that I can recall. So it was just a trailer, but that's what
Bilal, is that you, Bilal?
That's Basket Case.
That's Basket Case.
Oh, wrong movie. It's Alive.
It's Alive, yeah.
Beautiful.
I still never saw it.
Fuck.
Yeah, do it.
I'm
never
gonna
saw it.
fucking
joke
loop
for a
that.
wrong
I'm
movie.
gonna loop that over and over again.
Alive. Oh, nice.
Bilal.
And I
It's
remember
Alive. Bilal, is that you, Bilal?
We'll watch it. Maybe we'll review it.
What is it? With the killer babies?
Yeah, it's a
the
killer
mutant
baby.
babies, not killer babies, mutant babies, and killer. It's Alive 1, 2, and Island of the Alive.
Mutant baby too, right?
No, it's Basket Case 2, and Basket Case 3.
Right.
It's a
Oldest-
Siamese twin.
Bilal, is that you, Bilal? Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Bilal, is that you, Bilal?
And I'm going to mention two more quick things. When Ben Tramer got hit in Halloween 2, which is cracking the fucking
amazing.
It's so funny. I watched it last night, and I my wife was doing something. I said, "Stop right now! This entire thing is top notch. The whole thing from Loomis bugging out and trying to shoot him, and the cop pulling him away, and him picking up, and then the ambulance coming in, and Ben Tramer getting hit, and the way he's down, then he's up, and he's burning, and the way Loomis is gold." But when I
Supposed to do
saw,
an inferno. Where was that cop going?
The cop didn't even slow down.
No.
Didn't even attempt to brake.
what was he doing?
Where was he
Why? On Halloween, he's going 75 in the fucking thing.
Love it.
And how drunk was Ben Tramer?
Right? Yeah, no shit.
He was
fucked
really
up.
drunk. And to think, Lori, the wholesome girl, liked Ben Tramer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Hey,
Who looked like he
a
was
punk
only
rock
like
guy.
12.
I know.
He didn't look that old. They didn't make him look teenagery at all.
But I thought he was a punk rocker. I think I told it on this before. That's my memory. My parents were watching it for some strange reason, and I just happened to look up and see that scene where freaking he got hit by a car. And for years I'm Halloween 2. That's the movie where that punk rock kid got hit by a car. That's all I remembered. And then one more scene. Yeah, because I guess the way his hair looked. I didn't see his face. Didn't know it was a mask. I don't know. And one more thing, and I'm pretty sure it's Salem's Lot. Maybe it's Nosferatu, but I think it's Salem's Lot. There's a scary scene when the guy goes, "Look at me." What is that? You guys don't know? Fuck. Wow, I figured it'd
It
be
might
something
be the
epic.
scary scene I remember from Salem's Lot is
The kid on the
clawing
window.
at the
with
window.
one
Yeah.
chocolate.
Open the window,
I never
Mark.
saw Salem's Lot.
Open the window. Look at me could be Klaus Kinski in Nosferatu, but don't quote me.
Maybe it was. It was
Maybe-
either Nosferatu, or it was it was a blue-looking vampire.
It might have been Bilal!
Wow. You know what the greatest part of tonight is? It's not your night. And it's making me happy. I'm just
This fucking
Happy
skunk.
anniversary.
I gotta add two things before Brandon gets answer at all, and with another Belial. Madame X, I don't know if you remember this puppet, but she was on Solid Gold. That
Oh, with a
fucking
big fucking chin?
Yeah, that puppet
Yeah,
scared the pulp out of me. I used to run out of the room. Not a horror movie, but I had to add it. And there was a commercial for Videodrome, and I remember seeing it. And that's not my fascination with Videodrome, but it's funny that I do remember this now. It was on Entertainment Tonight, and they're showing a clip from Videodrome, and I remember the hand coming out of the TV, and my dad's like, "Get out, get out, get out!" And I ran out of the room, but I was like just mesmerized by the TV as I was leaving the room.
Sure.
And those are the things that just stick in your head, right? Those are the images.
That's scary.
And then
shit.
lastly, Belial. No, I was kidding. Belial
Okay.
from Island of the End.
That's scary.
From what?
Belial screaming that part. Oh. You know what I'm
What?
talking about?
Isle of the Dead?
I was trying to think of Island of the Dead. I was thinking of It's
Isle
Alive
of the
3.
Alive.
But
Yeah. Part 3. I think that's what it's called.
That's what I was
It's Alive 3. Isle of the Alive. Belial! Isle of Belial.
I just wanted to say Belial. I was thinking of House Party.
Shut the fuck up, Belial. Yeah, right. I think Isle of Belial would be a good movie, though.
Is
A whole
Martin
bunch of Belials on one island? That'd be
is
fucking-
Martin Lawrence in it?
No, Belial. No. I want,
How about Martin Lawrence as Belial fighting a bunch of Belials?
Oh, my Lord. Is that
Oh
your
god,
answer?
it really is his night. No,
And
you know,
Belial. Sorry, the Devil's Candy. Wasn't that guy called Belial in that movie, too?
Yeah.
Throw him
yeah.
in the movie, too. Okay, sorry.
I think that was Salman Rushdie.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know why. The things that creep me out as a kid, I think of the half a dog in Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, the veterinary
Really?
dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that was I didn't know that was comedy as a kid. Don't forget, I was only like 6 or 7 probably when I first saw it.
What about that dog in Nightmare on Elm Street 2 that has the human face? For that fucking
You
dog.
should have pulled the mask off with his paws.
The reverse transformation scene in Fright Night.
Oh, the wolf from Wolf to Man.
Yeah. Now it's sad, and I actually like tear up a little. But back then, I was terrified of it. Chucky coming to life in Mom's hand over the fireplace.
That's good stuff.
Fucking that was.
Whatever he says.
I'm Chucky Bates, bitch.
6 out of 10.
And the Candyman opening.
Oh,
those.
Philip Glass. That music.
Yeah. I mean that's those. I was really trying to think back to when I was a kid. Those were like some of the earliest memories I had. And the fact that Belial crossed over and did an It's Alive. I see what I'm doing, Christian? I'm taking power away from your fucking joke by actually making fun of myself.
It's not working.
It's working, you fucking skunk.
You skunk. Kyle Laugh, our homie who we fucking jinxed. His fellow film. Remember what happened? I told you last show. We played his fucking his trailer in his promo, and then he canceled the show the next day. But he's on to other things. So,
Play 22 shots tonight. Play 22 shots tonight.
Yeah, guys, do a promo. Right. Nice. All right. Excuse me. As fellow film reviewers, I'm sure you have strong opinions about this. What do you think about people who are completely negative when reviewing films, i.e., calling the film stupid or dumb without explaining themselves? Personally, this irks me majorly. But what do you gentlemen think?
I don't like it, because you're supposed to be a little bit more objective when reviewing a film. So when you start using the words stupid and dumb, it really kind of negates that. I mean, if you're gonna say it though, and I'll say it about certain things about it, a movie, but you have to have evidence to back it up. You need to cite examples. If you're just saying, I watched this movie, I thought it was stupid, it was dumb, it was boring, it was slow, 2 out of 10, that's not a review. If you think it's stupid and dumb, tell me why you think it's stupid and dumb. If you give me, this was a stupid mistake on this person's part. This was a dumb idea that the director had. Okay, you can use those words if you back it up, but I usually don't like to use those types of words.
It's the worst when someone's reviewing a movie that you like and they just cut it down and say that it's dumb or stupid and that's all they have to say. And that's when it bothers me the most.
Yeah, I mean, that's ultimately what it is. It's just somebody saying, this is stupid, this is dumb, and that's it.
Well, it's lazy. I don't have any issue with quick reviews, as you well know, but you have to cite a little bit of the reasoning, as Brandon said. It could just be a little bit. You could say, this movie's dumb, but here's why. This character does this. I don't like the acting. I found the direction very lazy here because they chose this, and however you want to go about it, it could still be a very quick review if that's the way you like to do things. But yeah, reasoning to back it up. It does irk me as well too. I
just hate the damn hate wagon. I hate the haters. The hate wagon. Like I what bothers me when I listen to a podcast. Just once, I listen to podcasts, and I could 90-something% of the time tell when I see the name of the film they're reviewing, I could tell already what hosts are going to like this movie and what ones aren't, and if the whole show's going to hate it or the whole show is going to love it. And that kind of becomes tiresome as a listener. I think for this show, when something is up, I don't think people can tell if we're going to love something or hate it. I don't think... that's what I think is good about our show.
I think among the three of us, I think we've shocked each other. I'm thinking back to when I was just listening to the Red Christmas episode. You guys were shocked at how much I had issue with it. Right. I mean, ultimately, I didn't give it that low of a rating.
Yeah,
but
which was more shocking.
Yeah,
right. That's great when that happens, right?
I think I rated it higher than you.
And we may say, that fucking movie, and then we'll get into it. Like there might be a couple of precursors, but ultimately, I think we save it for the main event.
I did it with Death Score Service on episode 3. I gave one of those reviews just because that's how I actually felt. I just thought it was dumb, stupid, and a waste of my time. And I never thought at that time that we're reaching so many people that it's going to come back to me the way it did. And, this time around.
Examples.
And this time around with part 2, though, I knew what I was getting into. So even though I know this type of film is not for me, I'm going to look for its merits. And that's what I think I did in the review. And I tried to give it an honest review for the people out there who are going to ultimately enjoy this film.
We should do that. And we shouldn't be so close-minded on things if we're reviewing them, and I think
Except
reviewers should give reasons.
Except
you
shot
know?
on, shot on
Huh?
videos. Except shot on video movies. They're just
It's not
so
my
bad.
cup of tea. I'll just say that it's not my cup of tea and be done with it. I'm not going to say it's stupid. It's
Well,
not
found
for me.
footage is technically shot on video, but they set it up properly. I know what you mean. It's the problem with shot on video is the ones that are just shoddily shot on video, because it's like, what, did you guys even try?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. All my movies, I'm not saying my movies are great. The family movies, they're shot on a fucking iPhone. Well, the last couple ones. I mean, I think, if I do say so myself, the last two looked amazing. They were shot on a freaking iPhone 6.
I forgot to watch the last one. Jeez.
It's just what you do, and that's not even. There's no budget. It's pretty much point and shoot, and okay, let's do this. Done.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to toot my own horn because some people might think they don't look all that great, but I'm just saying some of that, of course, is post-production processing, but you can, with the technology we've got available nowadays, it should be all about the story, because there's no excuse to not be able to make your film look okay. But the shot on video shit from the 80s, and I hate to say shit, but most of it was shit. I'd see shot on video, and I'm instantly already, okay, you're at a 4. You're starting at a 4.
Yeah, it's so tough to watch. The only ones I actually liked were the video violence ones, because they had a decent story and some decent twists to it. But like films like Spine, what was that one? What was that other one that on my 100 movie challenge list? The one I gave away, the last one, Boarding House. Oh my god, fucking nightmare.
Spine was like, I think even Moods was like, oh, you didn't like it? I'm like, didn't like it. It was 0. I mean, the camera couldn't even pan properly. They weren't framing people in the scene. That is abysmal filmmaking. I don't want to watch it. It's boring. There's nothing redeeming to your movie. So the guy acts like a creep and there's some blood later on. I don't care, because your movie's shot like shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man. That's not. You don't want to see that shit. Some people, it might not bother. You know,
I'll
it
answer
didn't
that
bother
question.
Moods.
You know we're doing a shot on video episode now with the
I'm eliminating all shot on video films. If you can eliminate Jason, I'm eliminating all shot on video films, except for found footage.
Okay, fair enough. I got a couple more here. Mike Merriman, can I come back, please? Nope.
Yeah.
Nobody's coming back. Okay, Forgotten Cultures. Favorite horror flicks based on true events.
Can I come back? Sorry, what was I still laughing at the mic coming back?
It's that ludicrous of an idea, I know.
I didn't say that.
It was such a disaster the first time around. Why would he want to come back?
If you could do Green Room 2, then you're coming back.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that was the episode, the Green Room episode, where Dave was dropping F-bombs left and right.
Ah, really?
Oh, it was great episode.
Nice.
Great episode. I have an accent tonight. I can't speak.
No, you can't speak. Yeah, I said favorite horror flicks based on true events.
Tobe Hooper.
You're gonna say Texas Chainsaw Massacre counts?
No.
So we're not saying Psycho counts, obviously, then?
No, I think that's cheesy. I think it's supposed to be based on true. I mean, Amityville Horror, even though is it true or not, that's, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Well, it's based on a real case. Whether
It's
or
what
not.
somebody said was real, at least.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Everything's loosely based. Henry, the Portrait of a Serial Killer, is not.
Right.
It's
Isn't
loosely
it just
based.
Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer? It's
What?
not Henry, the Portrait of a Serial Killer. He's not the ultimate portrait of a serial
Belial!
You mean Belial from It's Alive or Belial from Basket Case?
Or House Party.
Or House Party. Or our
Devil's
mashup.
Candy. Yep.
Or Devil's
That's the Devil's Candy. Wasn't one of Christian dancers before put everybody together? There should be a Belial thing. Remember the verses? The franchises. Devil's Candy versus It's Alive versus House Party.
Someone should just open up this basket. Go, what's in here? He just...
A bunch of Belial just going at it.
That's how Ghostface gets it.
Christian wouldn't like it though because he's in a picnic basket.
Yeah.
Are there many? Right, there's really not that many that I could think of. Wolves at the Door that I just saw.
I mean, Cut, Kill, Release. Was that what it was called? Fuck from Big.
Capture, Kill, Release.
Capture,
yeah,
Kill,
kind
Release
of,
was bit, but you know what? I think that was a one-take fucker. I don't think I could go back to watch that again.
Oh, I can't wait to
I
watch
did a
it.
two-take fucker, I think. I did watch it twice for the show.
Wait, are we still
I
talking
make my top 18.
on
I gotta
actual
watch it.
events?
Yeah, that was based on an actual event.
Capture, Kill, Release?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
told you it
talked
was
about
based
it on
on
the
the
show. It was in
It was
Canada.
based
It was
on
in Toronto.
the
No?
Killers. Yeah, in just outside Niagara Falls in St. Catharines.
Yeah.
Oh.
We talked about it that day. Yeah.
I don't remember. I wasn't listening.
So there isn't two
Evidently,
men. No, he wasn't out, this fucking guy.
This fucking guy. Or
Well,
you're
if you
probably
guys can come
prepping
up
for
with
Cinema
some-
Attack.
Come on. The blend. Right. Jill Ellis, back.
Hey,
good
Jill.
to see you. Yeah, good to see you. 3 favorite horror sequels. You know what? I'm going to wait because they're slashers. They're going to be on the next show. So I'm not going to answer that now.
Yeah, mine's my 3 slashers as well.
Sorry, Joel. You will have to wait till next episode.
Tune in.
Oh,
to
and
episode
basket case too.
On the roof.
Back to the basket. I don't think I saw any of those sequels. I don't think I've ever seen It's Alive.
Wow.
Oh, well, now someone's going to make us do it on Patreon.
No, someone's gonna make us do shot on video because we talk shit about it. We're gonna be doing Spine and Boarding House, and I will quit the show. I'll send the money back to that person.
You know what? I'll do It's Alive 1, 2, and 3. I'd love to do those.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. It'd be a fun trilogy. Why not? The Trav would like to know if the Potato Gun Ripoff Horror Podcast featuring the Pesci is ever going to debut. You tell me, because I don't know. P.S. Bring back the anal bleaching jokes. I think we did one tonight, didn't we?
We may have bleached one tonight, but I think someone said it on the Facebook feed. That
Jerry said my face was as white as a bleached asshole.
Okay, well, there you go.
It has been a while. We ended the show, but I still think we're going back like 5-6 shows that we ended it really quickly with a bleached asshole joke.
Yeah, it hasn't been a Comet joke. There hasn't been a top-notch joke in a while.
I mean, come on. We evolve.
I said top-notch earlier. Yeah, we do evolve. You're right. PPS Mahoney.
It's coming
lives.
back. It's coming back. Bleached asshole jokes. A dime a dozen next episode.
Yes. Yeah. Episode 50. That hopefully everybody in the world's going to hear. We're going to be talking about bleached assholes.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
At number 50.
I'm getting all my F-bombs and asshole talks out this show because next show I'm going to try to clean it up. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah, it's going to fail miserably.
I'm really going to try, man. I'm really
Yeah.
anticipating we're going to have new listeners that are going to, their ears are going to be hearing us for the first time because of the premise of the show. So we'll see. I don't know. All right. Raphael. Oh, there you are. What are each of your reasons on why you enjoy to do podcasting and what makes you want to continue? I'll tell you right now. These 2 fucking guys that I'm looking at right now. That's my answer. Say what you want.
Is it us?
It's you 2.
Yeah,
yes.
thanks.
Imagine if he turns the camera around, this dude just random guy standing right in front of him.
Hey, Jerome! Belial!
Jerome, Belial! What did that copy of Hellboy?
Jerome and Belial.
I guess Dwayne and Belial would have been funnier, but isn't his name Dwayne?
It is Dwayne.
Yeah.
Yep. Dwayne the bathtub. I'm drowning.
Oh my god. That was the showstopper worst joke I've ever heard in my life.
Showstopper.
Awesome.
Yes.
I actually like that joke.
Well, you
I think
would.
I read
you
it
would.
in like 4th grade. And
Yeah, no, it's a good joke.
The
It's
way
been a while since I heard that one.
I'm drowning. Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I don't think it's patting ourselves on the back. I think we play off each other quite well. Good chemistry. It's always fun. I enjoy coming on and doing the shows.
It really is the answer. I mean, I enjoy talking horror, but I don't think I could do it as much as I do it with any other 2 men. What the fuck am I? Belial!
Hellbent and penis.
I'm hellbent on Belial and penis.
Okay, one more question. Jape Man, favorite lesbian makeout scene in a horror movie? Who makes out in a horror movie? 2 lesbians.
Black Swan.
What do you say?
Black Swan, if that's considered horror.
Oh, well, if you can consider that horror, of course, especially because one of them...
Neon Demon.
Both of them, really. Oh, yeah, no, she turns her down. They don't go at it, do they?
Oh, no, it's the dead guys she's making it with. Vampires, I think, from, like, you're going old school, a little bit more old school.
Man, I wish I knew. I
The
can't...
Sentinel, then those 2 girls start kissing.
Isn't that weird that I can't come up with anything? That none of us can really?
Boom. None of us. I've been shooting off 5 or 6 here. 3.
Yeah, but are they good? Well, okay, Black Swan.
Good.
Black Swan is one if it counts, right? And the other ones, are they really great? Is that your favorite? Look, it's just the only one you could think of. I was thinking, what do you call it? But it's not horror. But the first thing I thought of was that movie. With Nev
Deep
Campbell.
Inside Brandon. Wild Things.
Yeah. Wild Things. That shit. That's good stuff. Oh well, that's all we got. That's all our questions.
The Hunger.
The Hunger?
Yeah, with Susan Sarandon and what's her name?
I don't think I've seen it. Well, anyway, let's pick out one topic, and then we'll be out. I want to ask you guys this question. Who do you think would have been the better choice to make the killer? Jamie Lloyd at the end of Halloween 4, right? Remember how they made her the killer at the end of Halloween 4? And, what's going to happen next movie? I guess Jamie's going to be the killer. Michael's dead. Or Tommy Jarvis at the end of Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
I guess it depends on how they went about doing it, because Jamie Lloyd, if they decided to take the part 4 was the opening scene of Halloween, and then they jumped like 10 years later for Halloween 5 and she's the killer, it could have worked. Maybe it could have worked. We're talking about a female killer. There you go. That would have been a great option. For Tommy, they should have gone with Tommy. Yeah. Instead of I don't get me wrong, I like 5, and 5 could still be the movie it was. It just should have been Tommy instead of this fucking paramedic ambulance driver guy. Then they could have maybe done, I think Vince came up with this idea, so I'll, what you did with Matt earlier, I'll steal this from Vince, and a Tommy versus the real Jason. Like part 6 could have been like Jason Lives, and it's like Tommy versus Jason.
Are they both going to have hockey masks on?
Yeah, one has the blue, one has the red. The blue one is Tommy.
Instead of Roy, right. I can dig it.
But I like the girl hopping 10 years later and going that route.
That would have been cool. See, do you think that when they made those films, that was the intent? Because why else would you do that? This is something I've had, like I said, I've had these notes for a while, and I've always wanted to bring up this one specifically on the show because it's crossed my mind many times, and I never discussed it on any show before. But did you guys think when they made those films that was the intent? Because why do it if you're not going to?
You know what? I don't know. Sorry, Brandon. Were you going to say?
No, I was going to say I think the intent was probably there, but with these franchises, too many hands in the cookie jar.
Halloween. You had Halloween 1 and 2. Then they went to 3, and it bombed in the sense of like they didn't want to continue with the anthology idea of every year being a different story. 6 years go by?
Yeah.
Halloween 4 comes out. The return of Michael Myers. Why bring him back for one fucking movie? I guess they were trying to give you the bone-chilling idea. It was a super hit. And Mustafa Khan's like, well, we can't let him die now. As they've usually used the tagline, evil never dies in practically all their shoots. I think then they threw it all on. And I think they said, well, now we've got to explain away that fucking ending that we made. Okay, she wounded her mom. She can't speak.
Awful.
She's got a mental link to Michael. And now throw some dynamite down and he'll live with a hermit for a year. Done and done.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I can't see Laurie being the killer. I mean, it would be a cool idea if it had happened back then, but I can't see it given, the type of character she is specifically in 1 and 2.
Wouldn't it have been crazy if she killed Loomis instead of her mother?
No!
Right. And he would be saying no because he was getting stabbed.
Don't stab me! My shoes fell off.
You just body slammed me. But yeah, I've always wondered about that, the Tommy thing, because they both did it. Two big
The Tommy theme seemed like the obvious choice, though. It seemed like it just would have been super successful had they gone that route.
But Tommy seemed to have a fan base.
Yeah.
So they could have made it work. They didn't need John Shepard reprising the role. It could have been anybody at that point. But they don't need that bridge movie. Halloween 5 or Friday 5 could be the bridge movie and then go into 6 as him being the killer. But the climax of 5, he should have revealed Tommy as the killer.
Yeah, no question about it. I'm still kind of glad because, part 5 was a mystery, and that's something we hadn't seen since part 1.
Yeah,
so
true. That
was kind of cool, and that was a big thing in slashers, which they took from the Giallos, the whole whodunit thing, and that kind of became like a a lost art by the time 85, 86 came around. You know,
you could have still added a mystery. No one, like, they didn't really make it look like it was Tommy. Well, you couldn't see anybody because you don't see Jason till the end. Then when Jason busts, not even busts through the door, fucking explodes through the door in part 5. He like he explodes through that fucking door. He doesn't look. He's huge. Like the body size doesn't even compare to Tommy. So at that point, you already know it's not him. But the ridiculousness of it being this ambulance driver was just like nutsoid.
Should have been Reggie.
Fuck Reggie.
It's Reggie.
What do I have against him?
Yeah.
I have something against kids in slashers. I don't want them there. I want a final girl. I don't want a final girl and a fucking final kid. That's my knock. That's my only knock on Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
You are very tough to please.
It's not tough to please. It's just that parts 1, 2, and 3 were so great because of the final chase. And then all of a sudden, in every movie since, starting with final chapter, it became a fucking teamwork.
Teamwork went balls.
I think I'm seeing now which 2 films are about to flip-flop.
She runs. He's shaving his fucking head upstairs.
Yeah, with a newspaper clipping of Jason, because somebody got a picture of Jason in the newspaper.
Yeah, but they're still together. There's that one scene when he has to make the decision. And one's there, remember, they put the TV over his head, and he wakes up, and there's one on one side and one on the other. And it's not as scary to me when it's more than one person. Something about the final chase scenes in parts 1 through 3 and putting yourself in the shoes of the person being by themselves is scarier to me. It seems like something is taken away when you have another person there.
But if the shoes are too big, they'll fall off.
My shoes fell off. Yeah. Oh, I stole Christian's joke. Sorry.
I don't know why. That's all I could think about when I was watching Halloween 2, when the nurse gets stabbed. Her shoes fell off.
You know what the funniest part of Halloween 2 is? And it's so obvious that I don't know why, I only realized it this time watching it, is that he doesn't actually use a knife at all through the movie. I thought he did, but it's always a hospital instrument.
Yeah.
It's always a scalpel.
He takes the knife from the L-rods and never uses it, you're saying?
I stand correct. So at the beginning, he stabs that girl in the scene you don't like, the jump kill, come in the face scene of the blood splattering on her face. That's where he uses the knife, but he doesn't take the knife out of her to continue his rampage. He just goes to the hospital, then uses a scalpel and a hammer, and that's pretty much it.
He read Grey's Anatomy in the drive over there, so he knew what to use.
It was a waste of a knife, right?
Yeah,
that was this signature fucking thing in the first movie, and then all of a sudden he grabs it right at the beginning. Like, in Friday the 13th, when Jason gets his hands on a machete, he sticks with it. It's weird that he found it right away. You're like, okay, this is how Michael gets his chef's knife back. Awesome, let's use it. And then he only uses it once. That's weird. Yeah, I guess they wanted to do, like you said, have a wide array of weapons, which I guess they kind of got that from Friday the 13th, if you think about it.
The stupid things when the series went on. I know this is off topic now. Like in part 4, where he walks up the stairs. Why not have a knife with you? And then Brady could have knocked it out of his hands with the shotgun before he crushes Brady's neck with his bare hands. But no, he crushes Brady's neck with his bare hands and then goes up to the attic to pull out the old kitchen knife in the attic routine. Those are all the little nitpick things I have with 4. I know you've got way more, but
yeah, dude. Yeah, there's not like one memorable kill in that movie.
There's just tons of memorable kills. The guy that gets the thumb in his head in mid-sentence was a huge.
I remember that
major great jump scare and kill, and then the other guy that gets his neck ripped, the hillbilly guy driving the truck. Earl. It's Ted Hollister, but the guy in the truck. Earl, I guess it is.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
you
fucking
dumb son of a bitch.
Yeah, you dumb son of a bitch. That's not Myers or whatever the fuck he said.
You said you saw Myers.
Yeah, right.
Bucky's like memorable but stupid, but there's some memorable kills.
Yeah, don't try that Halloween shit with me. Right.
All right, and that concludes our review of Halloween 4 ratings.
Yeah.
Nice.
Who's in that Belial?
2 years, gentlemen. 2 years. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
No, and all joking aside, it is awesome, man. Holy fuck.
I just want to say that to everybody listening, what you see is what you get. The three of us here doing this, we're bullshitting for half an hour before we hit the record button. It is 100% no different when the record button is on than when the record button is off. This is us. We just get together and talk and bullshit and do our thing.
Some would say it's worse once we hit the record.
I know how many times do I say, "Oh, we should have been recording that." You're right.
I blew my load already.
You can't recreate it, right? But seriously, this is it. This is 100% real. There's no nonsense. It's just us getting on, talking, and doing our thing. For 2 years, we've done everything we set out to do. We try to be innovative, do different things. We've kind of changed the format a little bit. I think it's been great. There's been no bullshit, zero drama, zero, nothing ever.
None.
I've never been involved.
Between us.
No, between us.
Zero.
Us three.
Yeah.
Right? I've never been involved in a show or any other thing anywhere near this where it was always harmonious and there was never a problem. And we recorded every other Sunday except for maybe 4, maybe 5. And anytime someone had to change, we just changed. We adjusted it. I believe that this is a show that it has to be the three of us. It can't just be like Skeleton Crew just wrapped up. They went through different revolving co-hosts, so to speak, and different things. And other shows will do it. One guy can't make it. We'll just go on without him. Or we'll have someone else in. I don't think that this show could ever be. It has to be all three of us here. It wouldn't work. I mean, I'm not saying it would be a bad show. If one day Christian couldn't make it, it was me and B and JP, yes, we would have a good time. But it wouldn't be exploding heads. It has got to be us three. And again, we've set out to do everything that we wanted to do. It's been great. We said we were going to have a guest every 10 shows. Guess what? We've had 5 guests. So
6.
Has it been 6?
6 and 7 if you include Christine.
Okay, I lied. We didn't set out to what we wanted to do. Sorry. Okay, but Lauren was a thing that just happened. You know what I mean? It wasn't. We weren't planning. It wasn't someone that did a regular podcast that we were gonna. It was no different. Most people would have interviewed Lauren Ashley.
Yeah, we're still waiting for episode 2 of her podcast.
She's missing, dude. She's missing. She's very busy, but I mean, she's. I haven't talked to her in quite a while. She hasn't done anything with that podcast. I just think she's busy with films and planning her wedding. Honestly, that's what I think she's doing. So she's very busy. But anyway, we've set out to do what we wanted to do. There's been no drama. Everything is real. It's been a fantastic 2 years. You guys have been fucking amazing, and I couldn't be happier. So I'm toasting my water because that's what I have.
I'm drinking my water.
I got nothing.
Salute, you mafia sons of bitches, you.
Hey, Donnie Rings.
I'm onion rings. I love that joke.
So thank you. Thank you to both of you guys.
Thank you.
I couldn't have imagined it came out as good as it did, and it came out even better than I imagined. So I just want to say you guys are awesome.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. Everything just sort of fell into place the way it was supposed to. And it feels like we just started yesterday. It's hard to realize it's been 2 years.
That is nuts. That's crazy. 2 fucking years flew by like that.
Yeah.
But no,
right?
I echo everything you just said. It's been amazing. I want to pat ourselves on the back even more, but I don't want to bore the audience as well, or the listeners, the audience.
The audience.
There's nobody listening right now.
We're now recording in front of a live audience.
It's my cat who's like trying to sit on my lap.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, man. I mean, what you see is what you get. This is as real as it gets. There's no bullshit here. And it's been amazing. It really has. And I hope we have at least 2 more years. I hope we can continue to have these times. And I don't think it could ever change. It just seems to keep getting better. Like I said, each show seems to be better than the last. So, I mean, I don't know.
It feels as fresh as it does now, the day we started. I still get excited to record. I get excited to prep. In fact, it builds now. So, I just don't see, can't predict the future, but all things going well, I just see us doing this for a long time.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Men.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I concur. I'm looking forward to the next show. It's going to be a killer show.
It's good. I've never looked forward to a show more. I'm so excited because it's been a year freaking in preparation,
Yeah, it's going to be a big one.
It sure as hell is, man. I'm very excited. And I hope all you guys tune into that. I mean, the top 50 slashers, No one's ever done anything even close to that, and we've watched plenty of movies, and
we're kind of experts on slashers now.
I know, right?
We've seen a lot.
Fact.
We've seen a lot.
We were experts.
Fact, right?
No, it's fact.
I'm
It's
kidding.
fact.
Yep. So, guys, tune in for that. Let me just do a couple plugs before we go. Oh, you know what? We forgot to say something. The Patreon thing. There was one pick. It was Anguish. Correct? We're supposed to do Anguish. That's
By
for Sam.
Edwards, yes.
Okay. I'm going to put a thing on the Patreon. But I think I already did one and nobody responded. But we're booked till the end of the year. I mean, this is season 2. It's, it's going to be, this is going to be, and then 50. We got episode 50. I can't even talk. Sorry. Then we got the Christmas show, and then we got the end of the year show, and then it's January, and then we're going to do we're either going to take a break or just put out some Patreon only stuff, or maybe do a couple bonus episodes. We don't know what we're doing, but anything with Patreon, any picks that come in, we know we have to do Anguish. If anybody else has one they want to submit, please let us know. We will definitely, of course, get to it in the new year. Right now, we've been very busy with this slasher thing, and then we got to wrap up 2017. So just let us get through that. And if you want to get on the Patreon, www.patreon.com/explodingheads. Again, Exploding Heads Horror Podcast at gmail.com or voicemail 702-389-6472. So that's about it. Are we forgetting anything before we say goodbye?
I just want to promote the Horror Mafia podcast because, those guys are great. They don't seem like they've got an injury over there. And Don and Ellie really does a lot of promotion for the network. Right. I mean, thanks Don, and this goes out to BC and Joey as well. But I mean, Don is really, when he puts those Friday posts out, he really does promote the Horrorphilia Network, not just the Horrorphilia Network, but just podcasts that I think he respects and enjoys listening to as well.
Legion and others. Yeah.
So that's great, and I think they deserve another shout out.
Right on. And as long as we're shouting out shows, there's a couple more that I've listened to that I've never mentioned before. Alone in the Dark, Ancient Slumber, Darkest Hour, Black Cat's Shadow, Nightmare on Film Street. Yes, I think I've covered it all. So I just wanted to mention that. I don't think I've ever mentioned them before, or maybe if I had, it's been once, but they're on the list. So yeah, go check those shows out. Tell them that we sent you. And are we cool? Is there anything else we have to add on this stupendous evening?
I think that's it, man.
Yeah, maybe just one more.
You stole my joke. I was going to wait till he says goodnight. I was going to say, bye, Lyle. Waka.
Well, brush up on your slashers. The big show's coming next. Man. It's going to be amazing.
I guess the one thing it's implied and it should be known at this point is how much we appreciate all the support from the listeners and the Facebook group members. Book members.
We do.
Nice.
Brush up.
It's been phenomenal.
Because it's going to be a spoiler episode. Like where I'm going with it is we're not setting out to spoil movies, but when we talk about them, we'll probably just talk about them as if they're spoilers, unless they're brand spanking new, which I can't imagine them making our top 50 list necessarily, especially if they're North American, because I don't think I've seen a North American release slasher that was brand spanking new. Brush up on your slashers. Brush them like you're brushing that fucking bleach in your asshole to get it all sparkly white. Huh? Who's with me?
Bring it back. Yes, bring it back. Nice. Top notch. No more mate.
We're just everything. It's like balls to the walls now.
Yeah.
It's a one take fucker.
Yeah. Clickety clackety.
Top of the mops.
You stole top of the mops.
Clickety clackety.
You just body slammed me and broke my glasses.
Yeah.
There's more. There's lots
my
more.
shoes fell off.
People are listening saying, how can you forget that? What about this? Well,
yeah.
What are you going to do? It's late.
Be so sorry.
Yeah, miso soup, sorry.
So, yes. Again, thank you, listeners. Yes, we love you. And
long time.
We're very excited for the next show. Very, very excited. Hope you guys are too. It's going to be a big one. A lot is going into it, man. We watched a lot of fucking movies this year.
All 6 inches. A lot going into it.
Boom. Balls deep. Yes. So, okay. Anybody have any last words besides goodbye?
Great 2 years. Looking forward to the next however many we do.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Take care, guys.
Well said. Thank you two gentlemen, and thank you listeners, and we'll see you later. See you at episode 50. Thank you.
Good
Bye-bye.
night. God bless.